season. And this is the lineup brought to you by Rust-Oleum, the premium paint for metal that Key will be facing tonight, Tony Kubek.
All right, Lewis Whitaker leading off, playing at second base, Fergie. Alan Trammell playing shortstop in the number 2 spot. Kirk Gibson having an outstanding year. He can become a free agent after this season. In right field, batting number 3. Lance Parrish hitting cleanup in the catcher spot. Chet Lemon having an off year in center field. Larry Herndon, they've been hurt with run production in that area also out in left field. Herndon is there. Evans having an outstanding year with over 30 home runs, playing at first base, batting in the 7th spot. Alex Sanchez DHing, and Tom Brookins at third base.
Tonight's game for the Blue Jays really begins a streak, the last 25, as you look at the Blue Jays defense. Bell, Mosby, and Barfield in the outfield. Orge, Fernandez, Garcia. Cecil Fielder will be starting at first base tonight in place of Willie Upshaw, and Ernie Witt doing the catching. But the last 25 games of this season will be against the East, and of course, if that extra game is needed, the 26th game will be played against Baltimore after the regular season. Stepping in and leading things off for the Detroit Tigers will be the second baseman, Lou Whitaker. Whitaker hitting .346 off Blue Jay pitching this season.
For a strike, and Fergie, who can forget one of the best pitch games we've seen all season long. Jimmy Key against the Tigers, although he got a no decision. Remember when he had a no-hitter through 8 innings pitched? The Buck Martinez home run and extra innings won it for the Blue Jays. Jimmy Key has not been quite as effective in August and early September as he was before the All-Star game. He doesn't quite seem to have the extra zip on his fastball.
Popped up out in the shallow left field. Bell coming in. He makes the play. You know, Tony, what we should do is refresh the memory as we look at Tom Brookins breaking up that no-hit bid by Jimmy Key in the 9th inning. The Blue Jays won this game 2-0. Thanks to a home run by Buck Martinez in the 12th inning. There it is to win it 2-0. And I think that was the most exciting game of the entire season. And then the second game of the series, George Bell, 11th home run. That's Alan Trammell at the plate now as we come back. He fouls off the pitch. And Bell then hit his 11th home run to lead the Jays to a 9-2 win in that second game. And then Detroit came back to win the next 2 games. And overall, the Jays lead the series so far this year, 4-3. Evens it up with a ball and a strike.
Fergie talked a moment ago about Jimmy Key not having quite the pop in his fastball as he did early in the year. Well, he got Trammell to swing late, hit to left field, and then, or Whitaker rather, and Trammell just got a fastball in the first pitch and fouled it off. He was late on the fastball. So Ernie Witt, along with Jimmy Key, may try and establish the crisp stuff early, the fastball, and then work in the breaking stuff.
Trammell on a 9-game hitting streak. A breaking pitch. It's hit deep into left field. Bell back to the warning track, and he's there. Look at George Bell there. Let's look at him here as Bell in that second game earlier this year. He hit one deep into left field. That was his 11th home run of the season. And, of course, the Jays won that one 9-2. And then Chet Lemon in the third game. He hit this home run along with Kirk Gibson in a 10-1 Detroit victory.
Remember how way back in June that was the most important series in the history of this franchise? And it's not forgotten. Blue Jays won the first 2, and then Detroit came back and creamed them the last 2 on Saturday and Sunday, but that's a long time ago, and all of a sudden every series and every game becomes more important than that one back in June.
Last man you saw hit one out there was second baseman Lou Whitaker. No balls and 2 strikes on Kirk Gibson. 5th in the American League in total bases. 4th in slugging percentage. 3rd in extra base hits. And to think that he's going to be a free agent at the end of this year.
I don't think there's any question that Gibson will declare free agency. I think it's almost imperative that the Tigers do re-sign him. If the Tigers are having an outstanding year this year as they were last year, Gibson's worth might not be quite as high. But he's become what some people consider a franchise player with his speed and power.
The 0-2 pitch inside. Gibson has absolutely murdered Blue Jay pitching this season. Detroit 33 RBIs, and Gibson has 12 of them.
Stands fifth in total bases.
Great strikeout. So an easy inning for Jimmy Key. 3 up, 3 down. After a half inning, no score at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto, as Gibson fans for the 118th time this season. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Charbroiled and ready.
What would you like?
Mustard, relish, and tomatoes, please.
And you?
Relish, onions, and tomatoes, please.
And then your hamburger?
Mustard, relish, tomatoes, onions, and pickles.
That works. Just like last time.
He's been here before. First visit, eh?
Not his last.
Your hamburger, a beautiful thing.
The 1985 Chevy Cavalier is the car for the two of you. The one you demands his money's worth in comfort, features, and quality. The other you enjoys the performance of an electronic fuel-injected 4 or available multi-port injected V6 and GM's 5-year future guard warranty. Happily, the new Chevy Cavalier brings both of you together. No wonder it's GM's best-selling car.
Chevy, way to go. Way to go, Chevy. Way to go, Chevy.
You're looking at left-hander Mickey Mahler, who started the season out with the Montreal Expos, then pitched for a couple of minor league teams, and now he's here with Detroit. And this is the lineup he'll be facing, brought to you by Rust-Oleum, the premium paint for metal.
Garcia, Mosby, Johnson. Johnson, the DH spot, hitting number 3. George Bell in left field, hitting cleanup. Jesse Barfield, Cecil Fielder. Then Garth Orge in the 7th slot. Tony Fernandez at short, batting 8th. Ernie Witt catching, batting number 9, and the wind is blowing out very strongly to left field. There's the defense, Herndon, Lemon, Gibson. Brookins, Trammell, Whitaker, Evans. Parrish behind the plate. Mickey Mahler, the left-hander, brother of Rick Mahler, who had that great start with the Atlanta Braves. That is a defense that is on the bottom rung in the American League defensively.
It's hard to believe.
They've kicked the ball around a lot, and the strength of this ball club last year and over the past few seasons has been up the middle of the diamond. Saw Mahler pitch a couple of months ago with the Montreal Expos, and he threw a lot of overhand slow curveballs. Some rated his arm as a youngster much better than his younger brother of Atlanta. He's had some arm injuries.
You're looking at home plate umpire Jimmy Evans. Ted Henry will be at first base. Mark Johnson at second, and Dan Morrison down at third base. As Damaso Garcia steps into the batter's box, he's on a 5-game hitting streak. He hit a home run yesterday. As a matter of fact, he homered Saturday and Sunday. He has 6. That's a career high for a season.
Well, let's see if Mickey Mahler uses a pattern that a lot of breaking ball pitchers do. He'll try and establish the fastball, put it in the mind of the hitters, get fastball in their heads, and then go with breaking stuff. He starts with a breaking ball right off the bat.
Tony, you remember that last game in Detroit? The Jays won it 6-5, and Garcia hit the first pitch of the ball game off Jack Morris, a line drive into the left field stands.
Donald's opened that stance up a little bit over the last week. Spread his feet a little bit wider again. As he gradually goes into that pattern of getting his feet closer together, closing his stance, he doesn't have good balance at the plate. The head starts bobbing and weaving.
2 balls and a strike to Garcia. A lifetime .276 hitter against Detroit. Evens it up with 2-2. Oh, great catch made by one of the fans here. Not a bad crowd tonight. I think they expected a few more.
Blue Jays are now over the 2 million mark. They are averaging just over 31,000 per home game. Believe me, folks are catching on in the States, too. Now that they're in a legitimate pennant race with the Yankees, a traditional powerhouse, fans all over the country in the U.S. are starting to recognize the Blue Jays' names. It usually happens when you make the All-Star team or you're in postseason play or in a pennant race as they are in now.
Jays are up 265,000 fans over last year as Garcia fouls off that pitch down the left side. Interesting, with Detroit being 13 and a half games up, or down, I should say, this season. In attendance, they're also away down over 300,000 compared to last year.
Tigers on a 4-game losing streak. In fact, the 3 games the Tigers just concluded with the Seattle Mariners, they were never ahead in any of those ball games, and their pitching staff just got eaten up.
Line to the center field. Lemon short hops it, knocks it down, and Garcia's going to hit and try for second. Nope, he's in there as Trammell loses the ball.
Chet Lemon, of whom Sparky Anderson said he's the best center fielder he's ever seen, and Sparky will deal a little overhyped at times. He makes a very brazen play on the artificial surface, knocks it down, and then when he couldn't get the handle, Dalvin Garcia made this play, Fergie, when he ran hard all the way from home plate to first base. Saw the opening, took off on the artificial surface. I don't know if they can really give him an error, but it'll be at least a single. We'll check the official score to see if it's a single and an error on Lemon. It's a tough error to give because he scrambled very hard.
They did flash a hit and an error. For Chet Lemon, that will be his 4th error this season.
He made all 3 in one game after going almost 120 consecutive games without an error, all 3 in a game against California.
Garcia at second and Lloyd Mosby the batter.
Trying to get the ball to the right side with nobody out.
Mosby today was named the American League Player of the Week. What an honor for this young man. That's the 2nd time in his career. 5 home runs, last 5 games, 10 RBIs. I can remember Lloyd about a month ago saying, "Don't worry about me. When the leaves turn brown, I'll be there." He's here. There's a drive out in the left field. Herndon coming in. He short hops the ball. Garcia will go to third, and the Jays have runners at the corner.
Interesting how the pitching pattern is going to change now as the scouting reports get around. Mosby has said for publication he isn't doing anything different, but you could probably see, if you recall his stances in the past, he is about 6 inches to a foot farther off the plate because they've been busting him inside so hard. He tried to pull a 2-0 pitch, got it off the end of the bat, but it still worked as Mahler is in trouble.
And with runners in scoring position, as you look at Garcia and, of course, Mosby over at first base, he's not in scoring position. But Cliff Johnson hitting .420 with runners in scoring position. He has not hit a home run since August the 16th.
Man will become so important as the Blue Jays will face a lot of left-handed hitters down the stretch. It's Boston against the Yankees.
All right. For a strike.
Crew Chief Jim Evans getting a little sassing from Cliff Johnson, who didn't like the call.
Johnson has only appeared in 5 games with the Blue Jays, but look at that stat. A career 190 hitter against Detroit. You know he's better than that.
A lot of that has to do with Petrie and Morris, two of the outstanding right-handed pitchers in this league, or in past years anyway.
Ball and a strike.
It's a good spot for a guy like Cliff Johnson, who hits the ball hard on the ground, to take a shot the opposite way, try and stay out of a double play. He might try and shoot it between Whitaker and Evans, the first baseman.
Nobody out, bottom of the first. Pitches inside, 2-1.
Blowing out a gale to left field. It'll be interesting to see what the high left field stands do. If the ball's high in the air, it'll get pushed out. If it's a semi-line drive, sometimes the wind swoops into those stands you see on the left and keeps the ball in the ballpark. Tricky wind currents here.
Johnson with 12 home runs this season, 57 runs batted in. He's only had 4 base hits in a Blue Jay uniform. That's this year, of course.
Well, he had a good hitter's pitch on 2-1. Mahler missed. Now it's even better, 3-1. Bobby Cox might start Mosby off first base. And Johnson cuts down his swing. He doesn't strike out very often. On the other hand, Cox may want him to have a real big cut at something. If it's inside part of the plate and hold Mosby, we'll see. Looks like he's holding.
Ground ball down to Brookins. He'll go to Whitaker for 1. And he gets the double play. Garcia scores. And the Jays lead it 1-0.
There will be no RBI, of course, for Cliff Johnson grounding into the double play. Had the makings with no outs first and third of a big-looking inning, didn't it? But that one pitch when you turn 2, and this Tiger infield still does that very well.
George Bell in a slump, 0 for 13. Only hitting 132 in these past 9 games.
You look over the last month, though, about the last 28 games, he's been up over 350. 9 home runs and 24 runs batted in. So the 2-game slump over 13 is not much for a Major League player.
He's only had 1 RBI since August the 27th.
Interesting to see how Paris will work Mahler. They've only seen him. Pitching coach Billy Muffet said, I don't know a whole lot about him. Saw him throw on the side back in Detroit when we acquired him. Parrish, the catcher's gone over the Blue Jays hitters with him. But that's the kind of stuff he usually has. Tries to get you to nibbles with the breaking ball, tries to get you to swing at bad pitches. The kind of pitcher that at times gives the Blue Jays trouble, because they are a relatively free-swinging ball club.
3-1. The Tigers are 4th in pitching in the American League, and the Blue Jays are 1st.
Remember way back in April when the Tigers started 6 wins and no losses again this season? Since then, they've played just 1 game above 500.
On the corner for a strike. It's a full count to George Bell. Everybody was saying, here we go again.
Nice jerk job by Lance Parrish, the catcher. Bell didn't like it, as Cliff Johnson argued a while ago. Jim Evans considered one of the best ball and strike men in the game, in the American League anyway. But players are getting testier as the pennant races heat up.
Popped up.
Watch the wind blow this one back, Frankie.
Evans, he'll have room for it, and he makes the catch.
That ball's 5 rows in the seats until the wind got hold of it.
So the Blue Jays get a couple of base hits here in the bottom half of the 1st inning, and they score a run as Damaso Garcia does that, and they lead the ball game 1-0. You're watching Labatt Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Automated obsolescence or office automation with a future. The decision is up to you. Sperry Information Systems for the automated office with a future.
Are you sure about this? Ask me later. I don't know. This bridge looks rotted out. It's going! We made it! But the muffler didn't. Oh, man. We're taking a big chance with this load. Now, here's where we don't take chances. I like the way you do things. Yeah, these guys know their stuff. And here's your guarantee. Looks like we're gonna make it. I know the muffler will. Well, sometimes you take chances, but not when you need a muffler job.
by Tom Hankey.
Good start. There's a good right from O'Sullivan.
Sparky Anderson, what's happened to your ball club this year?
Well, Fergie, if you got about 3 weeks, well, we can sit down and go, but no, you know, it's one of those things. I'll be honest, we've lost 14 games from the 7th inning on this year. Last year, we didn't lose any. So you can see what that old saying, what a difference a day makes, what a difference a year makes. That's why the game of baseball, Fergie, is so great. Once January 1st comes, nobody cares what happened last year. That's why they have New Year's and they celebrate it, because all the bad things that happened the year before are gone, and this is a new year. And we fall into that category the same way as Baltimore did the year before and the way Milwaukee did the year before. It's just, this game is so great that nobody has a lock on it.
Lance Parrish, the batter. He lines one into left field. It's out of here. That was a bullet. It's a tie ball game. For Parrish, his 25th home run of the season and his 88th run batted in.
So he's not having a bad year, nor is Gibson. Whitaker's having a good year, although he's in a little bit of a mild slump. That ball got out of here in a big hurry. I heard an expression the other day that a pitcher used, and he said, when they asked, what did he hit off you after a home run was thrown by him, he said, a major roller. And when you look at that, that's what that was, a curveball that just rolled. You know, minor roller might be a single off a hanging curveball. That was a major roller, a hanging curveball that went for 4 bases.
Chet Lemon, the batter, he's homered a couple of times this season off Toronto pitching. It's 2-0. Lemon.
You can see by those numbers, he's not giving the run production to Sparky Anderson as he did last year. He's had several injuries.
The bouncing ball over the head of Key. Garcia. Nice play.
Adamo's been saying his knee is feeling better, and he looks like he's a little bit more mobile on that ball he ran out earlier, getting to second base on Lemon's error, and now he covers a lot of ground to his right, plants the foot, and throws him out.
Number 31.
Very, very important man he'll be, defensively and offensively, in the September stretch run, Damaso Garcia.
Here's Larry Herndon on a 5-game hitting streak. We want to remind all our viewers on TSN, we'll be right back again tomorrow as Herndon lines one into right field. It gets by Barfield. It'll go to the fence. Mosby over, and Herndon is heading for third base. A bad throw from Mosby. Misses the cutoff man. Well, they had a chance for him.
Boy, they did. The cutoff men were lined up properly. Damaso Garcia was out toward right center field. Good low-sinking fastball that hits the gap. Barfield tries to smother it. Lloyd, hustling, backs it up to prevent an inside-the-park home run. Then, when he overthrows and throws offline to Garcia, you can see how far it was. Fernandez in the proper position, but it was just so far offline, he might have had a chance.
Number 41, Darrell Evans.
Now the infield. We look at Lloyd again, pushing off the wall. A messed-up relay. Lloyd overthrowing the cutoff man. Infield will come in on the right side halfway in at shortstop.
So Darrell Evans is the batter. He's tied for second with Steve Balboni in the American League home run department with 31. They're 4 behind Carlton Fisk. So the Tigers have tied up this game on Parrish's home run, and now Herndon is at third base, 1 away.
Tigers with a very explosive offense, especially when they come into this ballpark. They've left a lot of men on bases this year. In fact, this situation early in the year, less than 2 outs, man, they had trouble scoring guys earlier in the year. One of the ways they were not executing very well. Evans, who has a great eye, challenges Evans' call now, home plate umpire.
Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Hit high into the air in the right field to Barfield. Herndon will tag up at third. Let's see this throw from Barfield. Look at that. He got him. What a play by Jesse Barfield. Unbelievable.
either, folks. It is medium right center field. Herndon, even if he had slid, would not have made it. Good positioning by Jim Evans, the home plate up. A great tag by Witt, and one of the best throws you're ever going to see, folks, by Jesse Barfield. Look at the appreciative Exhibition Stadium crowd.
They're standing and cheering.
Wow.
Jesse Barfield. A cannon for an arm. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
What's cold as ice? Well, it goes down so nice. Yeah, it's Labatt's light. And don't it taste all right, girl? You can't believe what you hear. It's all you want in a beer. Tastes smooth and light and goes down so nice. That's nice. Oh, it's the best light. Right on in the eyes, girl.
Take a good look at the new Safari. It sells itself.
Safari offers you room to bloom and the most powerful V6 in its class. 4 seats up to 8 in divine comfort. So it should be no surprise that Safari is just for you. The new GMC Safari. It's more than magic.
If you're joining us for the first time during Pay TV Preview Week, we'd like to welcome you to TSN and our Monday night sports lineup at 11 Eastern, Canada's only national sports newscast, the TSN Sports Desk. Then it's Fishing the West at 12 midnight, Team Synchronized Swimming Championships, and at 1 Eastern, your second opportunity to watch the Blue Jays and the Tigers baseball game. Monday's Great Moments in Sports. Question is, who was Sean O'Sullivan's first professional opponent? Watch TSN or contact your cable company for details.
During the commercial break, Jesse Barfield received another standing ovation after that tremendous throw from right field, and we'll have another look at it. He nails Larry Herndon with a tag up at third.
It looked like a sure sacrifice fly, didn't it?
If you'll notice on the tag, I don't think there was a tag, Tony. It looked like Ernie Witt missed Larry Herndon. He pops it up. Parrish makes the play.
Well, Fergie Alvarez, Parrish retires out. Had a little talk with Bobby Cox about Cecil Fielder. Let's listen.
Bobby Cox, you've started Cecil Fielder again tonight at first base. What an addition this young man has been to the ball club.
Well, especially for a young kid that just come out of Double-A, and he tore up the Southern League down there for Knoxville and had a lot of home runs, RBIs, and we sent down 3 different scouts to look at him when we were looking for a right-handed hitter at that particular time, and they recommended him highly over a lot of players that were in the big leagues that were possibly available. So he's been a tremendous asset to our ball club. He's driven in, I know of, the winning run twice already in my mind. And, you know, when you get a kid that can hit the ball like that, and he's a very good defensive first baseman also.
I think also he is a very astute young hitter who can sit on certain pitches. And I would almost guess, before he went up to the plate with Cito Gaston, the hitting instructor, said, look, I know Mahler from the Atlanta organization. He has become a breaking ball pitcher. Sit on a curveball for a little while, maybe up until 2 strikes, and try and pull one with that wind to left field. Let's see if he has a good cut of the breaking ball.
Fielder actually has 3 game-winning RBIs for the Jays. That's in 48 trips to the plate. Not bad. 2-0 the count.
So you think Ernie Witt did not tag Herndon?
I thought he missed Herndon.
Still a great throw, wasn't it? Oh. You got overruled by Jim Evans, the crew chief. Even 2 balls, no strikes. Mahler pulls the string on a breaking ball to Fielder.
Well, our producer, Tom McKee, tells me that we're going to have another look at that play at home plate from 2 different angles. So we'll let you folks at home be the judge. That's foul down the left side.
Still has not thrown Fielder a fastball. We'll take a look at that again. It looked like a sure tiebreaker in this 1-1 ball game. The low third base camera. Herndon tries to sweep around. Can't tell on that one whether he touched him or not. Here's another angle for you folks. What a marvelous throw.
Tough. Did he get him on the... Let's put it this way. Jim Evans was a lot closer than you and I, and he made the call. It's a full count now to Cecil Fielder.
You know, Jesse has obviously the strong arm, but when no cutoff men to hit with nobody on first base. He just throws the ball all the way on the fly, and when the ball doesn't hit that turf, prevents it from slowing down that little bit. He just made a marvelous throw, didn't he? Hard to stop talking about it.
We're in the bottom of the second inning here at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. A tie ball game at 1. Both clubs a couple of base hits. We want to welcome all our viewers on TSN tonight, a free week of television.
Yankees at Milwaukee County Stadium against the Brewers tonight. The scheduled pitchers in that game, Fergie, Pete Vukovich scheduled for the Brewers, but I just read a Milwaukee paper coming through today. There's your score 1-1 right here. That Vukovich is having shoulder problems again. And Marty Brystrom was scheduled to pitch for the Yankees. He was scratched from his last outing, as I recall, with a sore elbow and shoulder. So those are the scheduled starters. Neither one may be starting that ball game in Milwaukee.
Interesting, Tony. The Yankees this season, 50 wins, 16 losses at Yankee Stadium. The Jays are 46-21 here at Exhibition Stadium. That's hit deep in the center field. That's out of here. That's the fielder has delivered his first here.
Mahler cannot believe the strength of Cecil Fielder. He walked him all the way around the bases, and he found out also about Exhibition Stadium, a great hitter's ballpark, with the wind blowing out to left. The first 5 pitches that Mahler threw to Fielder were breaking balls. He fouled off a fastball. Now he runs a fastball outside edge of the plate. The wind catches hold of it, and Fielder breaks the tie.
Sparky Anderson is probably sitting in the other dugout saying, where do they find these guys?
Look at where that pitch is. It's probably maybe 4 to 6 inches from that camera angle off the plate, out of the strike zone. He went out and got it.
2-1. Blue Jays lead it. Garth Ord's the batter. He's had a couple of hits in his last 8 plate appearances.
We keep talking about some of the keys to this Blue Jays ball club. Garth, over the latter part of this season, because of the left-handers, the way they're going to try and throw as many as they can against the Blue Jays, he's going to get a lot of playing time. And if he could get his bat going and become a run producer, he could be a key. But your 25-man roster, plus the kids they just call up, are all keys in this situation.
I want to congratulate Garth's wife, Patty, and Garth, of course.
You have a boy or girl?
New son, 7 pounds, 7 ounces. His name is Cale. It's their 4th child, so now Garth's got 2 boys and 2 girls. Two balls, 2 strikes. George. Parrish didn't like that call, and neither did Mahler.
Garth, you got lucky there, Garth. Come on, Garth, Garth, hang in there now, come on.
Mahler throwing a lot of pitches.
Lined in the center field, Lemon over, and makes a nice catch.
Boy, is he quick. Did he get a jump? He doesn't have the outstanding running speed of a Gary Pettis, or obviously of a Ricky Henderson, but he is so quick out of the block, and he plays angles off the bat so well. He's moving so many times as he was on this one before the ball even left Garth Ord's bat. Center field, you can see where the pitch, the location, what the pitch is, and boy, he was moving before it was hit.
Well, here's a guy that really turned things around. You know, for the month of July, Tony Fernandez hit just slightly over 200, and then he turned it around in August and hit 320.
I think he started getting a little tired in July, Fergie, playing on this artificial surface, playing as hard as he does.
He and Willie Upshaw, the only 2 Blue Jays who have played in every game. Line down the left field line. That'll go for an extra base. Fernandez heads into second as Herndon had a little trouble with the ball out there in the corner.
has been so consistent, hitting 280 from the right side, 293 left. That is his 12th double from the right side, 27th on the year. He's one guy, and here's another one, Ernie Witt, are not going to get scared when they go into Yankee Stadium during the pennant race. They both play so hard, especially Tony.
Well, you got to know that Mickey Mahler knows all about this man in the batter's box, Ernie Witt, because Witt has feasted on Detroit pitching over the years. 15 career home runs.
Now Mahler staring in at Jim Evans, the home plate umpire. A lot of that, this stage of the game, is just a psych job to argue a pitch, even if it's close, one way or the other, to try and get the calls afterwards. A young umpire might be intimidated, not an Evans.
Witt hitting 266 with runners in scoring position this season.
Boy, Mahler's pitching from behind a lot, isn't he, so far in this ball game?
Sure has. Jays with 4 base hits, the Tigers with 2. Witt goes around. 2-1.
He throws breaking balls even when he's behind in the count. 2-0 to Witt. He went with the slider. He isn't overpowering enough anymore. He was at one time back in his early career in the minor leagues in the mid-70s. Now he's got a nibble on almost all counts.
This is the third time in the last 7 games, Tony, that Ernie has started against left-handers. There's no doubt in Bobby Cox's mind that he's going with Witt all the way.
Well, we've said this before, but you've got to be careful that you don't mess up his stroke against right-handed pitchers, too. A little different hitting style mechanically and thought process-wise, too, against the left-hander with that breaking ball going away from you.
Full count pitch. Outside. So counting tonight's game, Ernie Witt has picked up 6 walks in the last 6 games.
The second baseman, number 7.
That'll bring up Damaso Garcia. With Tony Fernandez at second, Witt at first. 2 down.
Sparky Anderson, I don't know if he's looking for Mickey Mahler to be a starter for next season. He's probably looking for him to be a middle reliever, which has been a soft spot for these Tigers. Doug Bear's already gone, now with the Cardinals. Here comes Billy Muffett, the pitching coach. Doug Bear goes Cincinnati. Could be Cincinnati. Anyway, Muffett out to talk to Mahler as the bullpen very quickly gets going. Bill Scherer. Aurelio Lopez probably will be gone next season. He says he wants to be a free agent. He gets up to throw. Remember Lopez last year, and he was 10-0 this year. He struggled. And that's one of the things I think that's happened to the Tigers. The pitching staff was number 1 under Roger Craig last year. Billy Muffett did an outstanding job, but Willie Hernandez, Fergie, has had to be used quite a bit earlier this year because the setup men to get to him haven't pitched as effectively, and that was mainly Aurelio Lopez.
Hernandez, of course, is second in the American League in saves with 28 and third in appearances. But he's not having the year that he had last year.
He was just 1 shy of being perfect last season. He's still having a good year.
Ground ball down to Trammell. And they get the force at second to end the second inning, and the Blue Jays lead it 2-1 after 2 complete here at Exhibition Stadium. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Becker's Instant Giveaway can make you an instant winner. Buy 4 liters of Becker's 2% partly skim or homogenized milk. Check the cap or back of the bag. You could win up to $1,000 instantly. Checkers is giving away $25,000 in cash and over 500,000 instant win prizes. Popsicles, Pepsi, Hostess chips, Old Henry bars. You could even win one of 3 1986 Pontiac Fieras. Becker's can turn 4 liters into 4 wheels or lots of other prizes now during Becker's Instant Giveaway.
This is my car. It takes a big chunk out of my paycheck every month. So I want
this car to last. That's why I use Quaker State. It's especially
blended motor oil, made to help my car last for a long, long time. And a long, long time.
how long I intend to keep my wheels. Because to tell you the truth,
a long, long time is how long it's going to take me to pay it off. Quaker State helps cars last.
The hard-charging excitement of U.S. college football is on the Sports Network. Join us for the very best action from various conferences. There's nothing quite like the thrills of college football with its head-to-head rivalry.
We've got our first night game Saturday, September 14th, when the Texas A&M Aggies battle the University of Alabama Crimson Tide. All the great action starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, here on the Sports Network.
Row 1.
Veda Pinson coaching down at first base for Detroit. Alex Gramus at third.
4. Please report to customer service to receive your prize.
As the Blue Jays lead it 2-1, we go to the top of the third inning. There's your line score. The Toronto Blue Jays with 4 base hits, including that towering home run by Cecil Fielder.
Before the ball game, Damaso Garcia, see his picture right there, and George Bell were honored. They made the 1985 Latin American All-Star team. And the rest of that team, there's Georgie, Tony Pena of the Pirates, the catcher, Carew from Panama, the Angels at first base, Garcia, second, Julio Franco at short, Pedro Guerrero. You put him at third base, although he's had his best success lately. In the outfield, let me just finish that off. Cheo Cruz of the Astros in the outfield, Puerto Rican, George Bell, Carmelo Martinez of the Padres, Puerto Rican, Joaquin Andujar, Fernando Valenzuela, and Willie Hernandez, a reliever, Puerto Rico of the Tigers.
Alex Sanchez is making his first plate appearance of the season against Toronto.
He is a free swinger. He is, well, I won't say the toughest in the major leagues to walk because he hasn't had that many at-bats, but he's got about almost 130 at-bats this year, still doesn't have a walk. MVP last year at Phoenix.
Did he go around? Yes, sir. The first base umpire, Ted Henry.
And when they know a guy like Sanchez is a free swinger, they're going to call these kinds of strikes. And it should have been called that, too.
And Key is going to tease him all night long.
One time Sanchez was a product of the Philadelphia Phillies organization. So last year with Hernandez getting the MVP in the American League, Sandberg in the National League, Sanchez in the AAA League, that's 3 MVPs the Phillies let get out of their system.
Count remains the same at 2-2.
I think Jimmy Key and Ernie Witt know that you don't have to throw this guy strikes. That pitch was a foot outside. He still hacked at it.
If you're watching this game tonight on TSN, make sure you tell your neighbors it's a free week of television on TSN. We'll have another game for you tomorrow night. It'll be Jack Morris against Dawn Alexander, and then we'll have one out of Yankee Stadium Friday night. That pitch is outside. It's a full count on Sanchez.
This is only, talking to Dan Ewald, the PR man from the Tigers, he has only had a full count, Sanchez, twice this year, so this is only the 3rd time he's run the count full. He's close to getting his first walk.
Ground ball down to Fernandez. Flips it. The fielder, he's safe. As Fielder pulled his foot off the bag.
One of those times that Tony Fernandez does not have to throw on the run. He would have had plenty of time to take a step, plant the foot, throw over the top.
Third baseman, number 16, Tom
The ball runs in to the home plate area. Fielder, foot pulled off the bag by Tony's throw. Ted Henry made a good call.
That'll bring up Tom Brookins.
One of those where they will give Sanchez a hit, I'm certain. But if Fernandez makes it in a routine way, He should have had Sanchez by a lot because he doesn't run very well.
And every time you look at Tom Brookins, you think of the no-hitter that he broke up in the 9th inning off the man that's on the mound, Jimmy Key. You saw the highlight back in the 1st inning.
Brookins has done all they've asked of him, but he's an outstanding defensive player. Keeps rallies going, moves runners. There's like more power from the third base spot.
It's hit in the gap. Barfield, he gets to it. Nice play.
Ball just hung up there, didn't it, Kurt?
Sure did.
Looked like it was going to be a gapper in Barfield. I think over the last 2 months, Jesse's played right field as well as anybody maybe in the big leagues. You saw a marvelous throw earlier, but since he's been playing every day and he's gotten a rhythm in this season, hitting against left and right, he's become more confident in the outfield. And that last play just showed it. Had double written all over it, didn't it?
That's Whitaker popping it out into center field. Mosby there, so is Bell, and Mosby takes it.
The shortstop, number 3.
2 down, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Alan Trammell. Trammell flied out to Bell in the 1st inning, so he's 0 for 1 tonight. Trammell hitting only .208 off Toronto pitching this season. Sanchez is back.
Trammell not having a bad year, but when you compare it to what he did last year and then in postseason play also, his year this season pales in comparison. A lot of Tigers, like a lot of Cubs last year, probably had career years, the best year they'll have in their major league careers.
He hit 50 points higher last year. Trammell hit .314, 34 doubles, 14 home runs, 69 RBIs. And there's a drive into center field. Mosby won't get to that one. Sanchez heading for third. Trammell trying for second. He's in there.
That makes Barfield catch look even bigger, doesn't it? Got that line drive off the bat of Brookins in right center field. That's what the speed will do. Pat Gillick. Players he scouted, he signed up other rosters.
Number 23, Kirk Gibson.
Whenever he's traded, he looked for speed as one of the primary requisites on this turf. Barfield saved the double. Mosby cuts the ball off in the gap right there. Might have been through with a less speedy outfield. And score could have been tied again.
That'll bring up Kirk Gibson. In case you joined us late, Gibson, what a year he's having on Blue Jay pitching. Hitting .320, driven in 12 runs.
That combination that we see more and more frequently among the modern-day athlete, extreme strength and power and outstanding running speed.
Jimmy Key struck him out in the 1st inning. And it's a ball and a strike here.
Gibson has one of those theories. We saw him put it in operation as Gramis talks to Sanchez down at third. There's Trammell at second after his double. Gibson, when he goes in the slump, he swings even harder. Most guys cut their swing down.
You know, you might compare Barfield a little to Gibson. As the third base umpire, Dan Morrison, said no, he didn't go, so it's 2-1. Barfield set a club record yesterday with his 123rd strikeout. Gibson, of course, he struck out in the 1st inning for his 117th, or 118th actually.
You start comparing the two, Fergie, there are some similarities, and yet there are some big differences. Gibson has better running speed than Jesse, although Jesse's better than average runner. Barfield with a great throwing arm displayed already today, and past seasons, Gibson a very weak throwing arm. They both have that same kind of power, tape measure home run power.
Gibson with 25 homers. There's a drive down the right field line. That curves foul. Barfield's got 22 homers. But I'll tell you one thing, Gibson's going to earn a lot more money next year.
Well, they're talking in the newspapers, an article by Tom Gage coming through Detroit. They're talking $1.5 million to $2 million a year for Gibson, probably a 5-year deal. Don't know if Jimmy Campbell, new owner Tom Monahan, and Bill LaJoy going to go that high. They may have to.
So full count. That's hit down to Fernandez, and he catches it on the fly. So Jimmy Key gets out of trouble here in the top of the 3rd inning, and the Toronto Blue Jays continue to lead it 2-1. Nice play by Fernandez. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Introducing the new Chevy Astro. It's more than a minivan. It seats up to 8, has swing-out rear doors, proven rear-wheel drive, available V6 power, halls a room of furniture, a school of laughing kids, a baby grand piano, 38 bushels of apples, an 8-man crew, 2 fast horses, lots of paint and painters, up to a 5,000-pound yacht, and fits in the garage. The new Chevy Astro, built to do more than a minivan can.
That's the Chevy way to go.
Way to go, Chevy.
Way to go, Chevy.
Twice a year, Pascal's offers a store full of its fine furniture and appliances at up to 50% off Pascal's already low everyday prices. Twice a year, Pascal's presents top names in sofas, chairs, stoves, bedroom sets, children's furniture, wall units, freezers, and much, much more at unbelievable savings. Twice a year, Pascal's opens its doors on a sale to end all sales. Now is one of those times. Pascal's Green Tag Sale. Very personal, east and west.
Tuesday night on the Sports Network. At 6:30, a complete baseball report on Bobby Cox and the Blue Jays with host Steve Cooney. Live at 7:30, the Blue Jays play the Tigers on great baseball action. 11 o'clock, Canada's only national sports newscast, the TSN Sports Desk. The Sports Network is available for as little as $6.95 a month at participating cable companies. Call today.
Well, the happiest guy in town has to be you, because Willie Upshaw and Lloyd Mosby are swinging the bat now.
Well, it comes at a great time for going down the stretch in September. If those two guys can remain hot with the bat the way they are right now, why, it's going to be a lot easier job for the rest of the ball club to win this thing. And both of them have been hitting the dickens out of the ball, and now we're getting a long ball from them. That's the one thing we weren't getting. And, well, when you can get 2 or 3 runs on the board with one swing of the bat, that's a big plus.
Pitch is inside for a ball. Mosby, in the month of September, 10 for 27, a couple of doubles, 5 home runs, 11 RBIs. Since the All-Star break, he's lifted his average more than 20 points.
Looks like he's flattened that bat out a little bit, too, instead of pointing straight up, perpendicular to the ground. His hand position seems a little bit more relaxed.
He's also hit 9 home runs since the All-Star break.
Of course, that's something that the late Charlie Lau always preached, and you see it in George Brett or Wade Boggs' swinger, Don Mattingly's, Rod Carew's. Their hands and arms are so relaxed, and their swing is really tension-free. Sometimes Lloyd gets so screwed up in knots, can't swing the bat. He restricts the swing.
Pops him up. Trammell, the shortstop. Now Whitaker calls for it. He'll take it.
I think Mahler felt he got away with a pitch. Looked like a hanging breaking ball that Mosby hit off the end of the bat.
The designated hitter, 0-0.
Mosby singled back in the first inning. As you look at Jimmy Williams and Billy Smith, the third and first base coaches. So Mosby extended his hitting streak now to 7 games. And take some dirt or something off the field there. What is that?
Maybe is there a migration of bats? Looked like something live. Probably a bat taken out. Look out, if he gets in your hair, son, you're in bad trouble. Remember used to be a kid? Be afraid to go into those caves? You spelunker, you. I think it was a bat that came out of the sky. It's mating season out here, folks.
Well, they removed one in left field the other day, and they had a great picture in, I'm not sure whether it was the Star or the Sun or both newspapers. Bell doing a bit of a tap dance out in left field. 4 balls and a strike to Cliff Johnson. Big smile on his face.
A smile of derision. He got all over opening up our Jim Evans' his first trip to the plate.
And he ended up hitting into a double play. He's sure a favorite among the fans here in Toronto.
Cliff Johnson, now having watched Mickey Mahler from the side and one at bat, has spread his stance out. Look at his feet, how much wider apart they are now, knowing that Mahler's a breaking ball pitcher. He doesn't want to overstride and lunge on the breaking ball. Trying to keep that bat back.
Just misses, so it's 2 balls and a strike. When you figure out the Tigers against the West Division, Tony, they're 38 and 46. It's hard to believe,
Isn't that something? Look at how spread out Cliff Johnson is, the Mahler, even 2-1.
Now it's 3-1. 2-1, the Blue Jays leading here in the bottom of the 3rd inning.
Mahler continues to play with fire, doesn't he? Pitching from behind.
Garcia scored the first run for the Jays. He singled and Mosby singled. Johnson hit into a double play to score Garcia. And then Cecil Fielder hit a towering home run to center field. And Cliff Johnson draws a walk.
Ball game in Milwaukee County Stadium. The Yankees against the Brewers should just about be getting underway with a 1-hour time difference. 1 game in the loss column. Separates the Blue Jays and Yankees.
Bell hasn't had a base hit since last Wednesday when he went 2 for 5 against Cleveland. Here's a drive into right field, and Gibson is there.
That's why Mahler doesn't show that fastball too often. It doesn't have a whole lot of velocity, and it's relatively straight.
Right fielder, number
Bell just jumped all over it. That was a pitch up in the strike zone, and good stuff upstairs is not George Bell's favorite pitch.
Jesse Barfield's big home run year, 83 when he hit 27. He's got a chance to pass that mark if he can get hot this month. He's already hit 22.
Mickey Mahler's motion is so deceptive also. Throws a lot of head and shoulder at you, and the ball comes spiraling out after everything flies by you. Swinging his elbows and kneecaps.
Tony, this is the first season that Jesse's had over 400 at-bats.
I think the Blue Jays very wisely have worked him in, a young hitter as he is, who has a tendency to strike out big. Still does a little bit, but now he's taking some base on balls.
Pitches inside, gets away from Parrish, but Johnson will stay down at first base.
You know, there's always a chance that a guy like Barfield, had you gotten him 500-600 at-bats over the past few seasons of each season, that he could have gone right down the drain. He's a different temperament than Mosby.
And look where he stands in the extra base hit department. Mattingly, what a year he's having. Brett Gibson, Balboni, and then two-gun Jesse.
Is there an offensive department that counts that Mattingly isn't on the top of? I guess there are a few, but not many.
Is there any doubt who'll be the MVP in the American League this year?
There's going to be a few close. And you got to consideration of George Brett. They pitched around him, so George Bell's going to get some votes. There's no question about that.
Sparky Anderson, before the game, went on and on about how baseball fans around the country don't know about George Bell and Tony Fernandez.
You know, Ricky Henderson's sure going to get some consideration, too, although a lot of writers in the New Yorker has written him off after the strike, where he missed some ball games, didn't show up, thought his attitude was bad. Great change of curveball.
I'll say, and Jesse Barfield goes down for the 124th time this season in the strikeout department. So, after 3 complete, the Jays continue to lead the Detroit Tigers 2-1. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN. And now let's go to sports break and TSN control. Here's Jim Van Horn.
Thank you, Fergie. Good evening, everybody. In other American League action tonight, the New York Yankees are in Milwaukee to play the Brewers. That game is just getting underway. Baltimore in Boston is being delayed by rain tonight. Minnesota and Chicago are just starting as well. 3 other late starters out west. Kansas City at California. Big series for the American League West there. Cleveland at Seattle. Texas is in Oakland. In the National League, San Diego is leading Cincinnati 1-0 in the 5th inning of play. Pete Rose is not playing for the Reds tonight. L.A. and Atlanta are scoreless in the 3rd. Just starting, Chicago at St. Louis and San Francisco at Houston. Players of the week were named in Major League Baseball this afternoon. For the American League, Lloyd Moseby of the Toronto Blue Jays took top honors. Gary Carter of the New York Mets took the National League Player of the Week honors. Quarterback Steve Young of the Los Angeles Express of the USFL cleared waivers this afternoon. That opens the door for him to sign with an NFL team. Most likely, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and that signing could come as early as tonight. We'll have details, highlights on all the action from Major League Baseball and the rest of the sports tonight coming up on Sports Desk. We'll get back to the ball game right after this.
There's heart in this land, it's there in all we do. That's why hands across this country reach for the blue. And when we get together, it's a taste that's clean and true. So when you call, then you call for the blue. You know it's gotta be blue, that's why you call for the blue. That's why you call for your blue. It's time to call for the blue.
After 3 innings of play, there's your score. Toronto 2, Detroit 1. Jimmy Key gave up a rifle shot, a home run to Lance Parrish, stepping in to lead off the 4th. Cecil Fielder with a home run with 1 down in the 2nd. The Blue Jays also came up with a run unearned in the 1st. Garcia single, went to 2nd on Lemon's air. Moseby single. Cliff Johnson grounded into a double play. No RBI. That's where it stands, 2-1 Toronto in inning number 4. They swing her out to play Parrish as a pull hitter in the infield. Jimmy Key runs a fastball away, ball 1. Look at Tony Fernandez playing in the hole. Moseby in the outfield playing about straight away. A lot of the right field line given to Parrish. Good, crisp fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Through 3 innings, Jimmy Key has only struck out 1 batter. That was Kirk Gibson. There he is, 4th in the American League, an earned run average. Steve continues to lead.
2 balls, 1 strike to Parrish. At the All-Star break, Jimmy Key was 7 wins and 4 losses, ERA of 2.85. July and August, he has been 6 wins, 5 losses. ERA's been over 3 at that stretch. It's been pushed up a little bit. Nice off-speed pitch, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Each team with 4 base hits. Blue Jays lead it 2-1. Top of the 4th. Little chopper. Garcia's going to have to hurry. Parrish, a slow-footed catcher. Garcia gets a nice range again, shown by Damaso Garcia. There's 1 down in the 4th. It'll bring up Chet Lemon. Poland chainsaw, dependable and priced right. Sold by dealers you can rely on. From cutting firewood to felling big timber, you can rely on Poland chainsaws.
Oh, so nicely done.
Director Ed Marcel said he took it up north. He knocked down some big trees with that baby. Base hit, breaking ball from Jimmy Key. Chet Lemon's on with 1 out. Lemon grounded out the first time up, so he's on with 1 down. Now it's Larry Herndon. Herndon tripled in the 2nd.
The left fielder, number 31, Larry
Ball that Barfield dived, and with less than 2 outs, it looked like he was going to score the 2nd run of that inning after Parrish's home run, if not for Jesse Barfield's rifle throw to get him at home plate. See if they hit and run. He's holding. Ball 1.
Tony, any way you look at it, this month will be the most exciting month in the history of the Blue Jay franchise. You know, win or lose for Toronto, it's what a season it has been. I mean, everywhere you go, it's Blue Jays this, Blue Jays that. It's been unbelievable.
Good pitch down and away from Jimmy Key. A ball and a strike to Larry Herndon. Looking down at Alex Kramis, the third base coach. Jays lead it 2-1. Jays with a 1.5 lead over the New York Yankees. In fact, what a day that's going to be in New York on Thursday. If you could get there, folks, it's going to be one of the great days in New York baseball history. As in the afternoon, the Cardinals play the Mets, and at night, the Blue Jays play the Yankees.
Paul Beeson was telling me before the game today, he's never seen anything like it. He has had so many requests for tickets in New York from Blue Jay fans. He said it's impossible to handle them.
3 great pennant races going. Just told you about the one in the Eastern Division. Kansas City leads over California, 1.5 games in the West. Cardinals, just a game lead over the New York Mets in the National League East. Dodgers, 8-game lead over Cincinnati, 9 over San Diego. But the only one that looks like it's sewed up at this point. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Lemons at first. There is the National League East. The Speed Merchant Cardinals. Cardinals still with an outside chance to have 3 20-game winners. Tudors might make it, as might Danny Cox. Andujar's already there. Fernandez picks it clean, takes it himself. Over the fielder, double play. Nice play. Great anticipation by Tony Fernandez. Middle of the 4th here at Exhibition Stadium. Blue Jays 2, Tigers 1. You're watching the Bats. Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Good morning, Mrs. Reed. How's married life so far?
Love you. Hate you, Brett.
Morning, Brett. This works, but the taste.
Use my Scope. Great minty taste, and Scope works.
On morning breath?
Try it.
Looks fresh and minty.
Wait till you taste it.
You're right. Scope tastes terrific. Morning breath's gone.
You can kiss it goodbye with Scope.
Kiss morning breath goodbye with the good taste of Scope.
GMC S15. Compact trucks that work as hard as they play and play as hard as they work. 2- or 4-wheel drive pickups and jimmies, gas or diesel. GMC's member of Canada's best-selling family of compact trucks start at $72.09. The lowest priced B6 compact trucks in Canada. Work hard, play hard. GMC S15.
The beat of a generation is pounding. Got to get down before the magic gets away. Oh, helps it feel so right. Dancing till the sun shines. Just lifted high. Helps it feel so right. Helps it feel so right. So right.
Your line score, 2-1. Toronto as we go to the bottom of the 4th here at Exhibition Stadium.
Leading off the 4th for the Blue Jays.
Cecil Fielder with a home run after 1 was out in the 2nd inning. Took a Mickey Mahler fastball out over the plate and jerked it into the left center field stands. Might have had a little help from the wind. For Fielder, that was home run number 3. He just missed this one, or did he? Chet Lemon back to the track. That ball was in on Cecil Fielder's fist. Mahler tried to tie him up, and he still jolted it about 390 feet away. But it's a long out. I'll tell you, the fans are catching on to the pennant race, aren't they? Probably around 30,000 people out here again tonight at Exhibition Stadium, and even for a long fly ball, they're giving kind of medium-sized standing ovations as Cecil Fielder just got.
I can remember sitting out in a restaurant in Oakland with Bobby Maddock, and he was telling me then that the Jays were thinking about bringing up Fielder, and he said he thought he was going to be a great hitter. And he did.
Garth Ords chops a breaking ball foul. Garth lined hard at Chet Lemon in center field in the 2nd. The third base tandem for the Blue Jays, Mulnix and Orge, are nearing that 80 RBI mark. Hit deep to left field, a breaking ball, but probably off the end of the bat. He does not get it. Orange will go in with a stand-up double. The ball was just off the padding. Herndon lunged for it. Looked like the ball hit his glove, Fergie, and then may have been jarred loose when he hit the fence.
He almost made a spectacular catch.
A big, rolling, hanging curveball that Herndon appears to have a beat on. And it hits maybe a couple feet shy of going out. But with one out, Orange is down at second base.
That's his 18th double of the season.
Nice try by Larry Herndon. Now it's Fernandez who doubled in the left field corner in the second. Toronto 2, Detroit 1. One out, bottom of the fourth. Ball one. Garth Ord, brother Dane with the Kansas City Royal, has been on the disabled list, just about ready to come off, I believe, with a pulled hamstring. Kansas City playing without Willie Wilson. But Moreno has been something for them since they got him.
Team finally shut the Yankees out in the first inning. It's getting tough to do, isn't it?
Yeah. So you put Ricky Henderson and when Don Mattingly bats second and Woodfield third, got to go back a long ways to find a threesome better than that. 2-0 now to Tony Fernandez. Change of foul back and we'll go 2-1. In fact, we'll go back to the Milwaukee Brewers, their American League Championship year when it was Malter, Yount, and Cooper. Before that, you go back to the Big Red Machine.
Sparky Anderson told me before the game, he said that's the best he's ever seen.
Well, Pete Rose was the leadoff hitter, getting his 200 hits a year, getting 70, 80 walks. Griffey led a league one year, batting in the 2 spot. And Joe Morgan, consecutive MVP years, batting in the 3 spot.
Oh, yeah, I should correct that. When he said it was the best he'd ever seen, he was talking about Henderson, Winfield, Mattingly.
And he had Rose, Griffey, and Morgan.
That's right.
3 balls, 1 strike with 1 down to Tony Fernandez in this 2-1 ball game. The Jays lead it. We're in the 4th. Orange is at second. The pace has slowed down a little bit, although Mahler's pace has been relatively slow, throwing a lot of pitches and nibbling. And now with the runner on second with the sign switching, it gets even slower. Jim Evans says it caught the outside corner. Count goes full on Tony. Three and 2, 1 down.
Didn't look like it, did it?
Whitaker jockeying back and forth at second base. Fernandez requests time and gets it from Jim Evans, the home plate umpire.
Fernandez is hitting .361 with runners in scoring position.
Three and 2 once again. Change up. Oh, good play by Brookins as the ball took a whiff and hop off the dirt portion of the infield. Bounced up. He looked like he almost caught it in his bare hand. He makes an outstanding play, then guns out Tony Fernandez for the second out.
The catcher, number 12, Ernie.
Hey, a fellow sitting in the broadcast booth doing the television back to Detroit. A couple of Hall of Famers. Al Kaline's there, of course. And George Cal, another Hall of Famer who tutored Tom Brookins at third base a couple of spring trainings ago. Ernie Witt now, who walked in the second. I do think Lance Parrish, what was he getting rid of right there? Hope there wasn't something live. Ernie Witt didn't look like he wanted to get in the batter's box till whatever it was disposed of. Witt with 15 home runs, 56 runs batted in. Ball 1.
Those bats have to be the ugliest things, aren't they? They look like they could eat you alive.
George Cal, the Hall of Famer, to the left of your screen, and one of the all-time great right fielders and hitters, Al Kaline. 2 balls, no strikes as the Ernie, Ernie, Ernie chant picks up here at Exhibition Stadium.
Witt has hit safely in 8 of his last 11 games. Hitting over 300. He's driven in 5 runs. He's hit a lot of line drives for outs, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's the kind of guy that will hit a lot because he pulls almost everything, and you can stack your defense against him. Load up the right side. Ground ball, it just hooks foul. Count will go 2 balls, 1 strike. It is 2-1 ball game with the Blue Jays up on top. After fielder, fly deep to center field. Ord's doubled off the left field fence. Hernandez grounded hard to third. Now it's Witt. Mahler has struck out 1. He has walked 2.
That's all Jimmy Key has struck out, too, is 1.
A little bit harder breaking ball. A little bit like a slurve combination slider curve. Looks like he throws about 5 different kinds of breaking balls and changes speeds. Now it's 2 and 2 with 2 down.
The guy who's pitched with 4 different clubs this year, starting out with the Expos and 2 minor league clubs, he's doing a pretty good job tonight.
Now he's pitching from behind what looked like it was going to be a big inning in the first. First and third, nobody out. The Blue Jays got just 1. Slider, slice to left field. Herndon will have a long run, but it will go out of play.
In Baltimore at Boston tonight, that game has been postponed because of rain. It is scheduled to be made up later this month.
Mickey Mahler signed way back in 1974 with the Atlanta Braves. Played for Savannah and A-League, then went to Richmond, 75-76. Back to Savannah. 77, his first major league stop after Richmond was Atlanta. Spent 78 and 79 in Atlanta. Spent a part of the year in 80 with Pittsburgh. Part of the year in 81 with California Angels and 82. Back to the minor leagues, Edmonton and Louisville, 83 and 84. 2 and 2, 2 down. Ernie Witt tried to drive home the third Blue Jay run. Mahler, with his best fastball of the night, gets Ernie Witt for his 2nd strikeout in the ball game after 4 here at Exhibition Stadium. It is still the Toronto Blue Jays 2, the Detroit Tigers 1. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball right here on TSN.
The world is divided in half. Some can go to the net, some can't. There are good backhands and bad ones. And most important to Bic, some guys have normal skin while others have more sensitive skin. So Bic made the new Bic Orange. It shaves sensitive skin gently and closely. So remember, for normal skin like mine, the original Bic White Shaver. And for sensitive skin, the new Bic Orange. Oh, by the way, some people love John McEnroe, and some people,
When Petro-Canada looked for a better way to maintain offshore rigs, the job went to Canadians. This is Deep Rover, a world-class submarine that can turn giant valves on the ocean floor and make deep water repairs a lot easier. Petro-Canada's 2-year exploration contract helped make Deep Rover a commercial reality, creating new jobs and new markets for Canadian technology.
From the energy frontier to the station around the corner, we put Canada first.
Major League Baseball on TSN. Now you know what you're missing.
Don't miss any of the action as we follow the Blue Jays and Expos to the end of regular season play. As well, we'll have other Major League coverage. Take advantage of this special D-Scrambler pickup offer because at the end of the pay TV preview week, we'll look like this again.
You think baseball is the family sport with Pops making a lot of points with the little guy tonight? Remind you this program protected by copyright. Any use without permission is prohibited. All he's got to do is get that little guy an autograph for souvenir baseball.
I don't think he won't be trying either.
Yep, you're on, pal.
Talk about just like Dad, eh? Look at that.
Oh, Bob, you know where Pops is. And the little guy tonight. Top of the 5th, Darrell Evans, Alex Sanchez, Tom Brookins to face Jimmy Key. Key with a 1-run lead. 2-1 as we go to the 5th. A strike to Evans. Evans thought he had an RBI, I'm sure. Back in the second with Herndon on third base and just one out. Jesse Barfield knew differently as he gunned a strike to Witt to double up Larry Herndon coming down the line from third. A ball and a strike to Evans. Breaking ball, pull the string into the bat. 1-2. Evans, who after an off season last year, his first American League season, and some off-scene magazine articles, newspapers, was criticized by Tom Monahan, the Pizza King. He got him with a harder breaking ball, so Evans is down for the first out in the fifth.
The designated hitter.
The breaking ball just kept on biting, didn't
Sanchez.
it? At the one time, Tom Monahan, the owner who bought the club for Mr. Fetzer, said that they'd be better off with a young guy making the minimum salary the way Evans was going, but Evans has turned that around this year, hasn't he? Sanchez, infield single in the third to lead off the third. Hitting that Jimmy Key with some help from his defense, pitch out of it. Breaking ball strike to Sanchez. Sparky Anderson, trying to maintain his position in the standings or move up at least, says he's going to have to play guys like Sanchez a little more often. He jammed them. Wind may blow it back. Whip back to the stands. It is out of play. But the last 2 days against Seattle in Detroit, Sanchez played left and right field. Sparky Anderson wants to find out if he can be something other than a designated hitter. Hey, the bench has hurt this ball club this year. Guys like Nelson Simmons, who was so good in spring training. Remember Simmons? Hit a couple of home runs off Jimmy Key, the opposite field down at Clearwater.
He hit one straightaway center field, too, one night that was around 440, 450. Really KO'd it.
2 strikes to Key. May not have to throw a strike. Misses with a backdoor breaking ball. 1-2 with one down. Toronto scored first on a couple of singles and a double play. And a 1-0 lead. Parrish tied it up in the second with a home run. Fielder gave him a lead with his home run in the second. On a 1-2 pitch and one down, Sanchez with the second into the ball game. Now it's Tom Brookins, lined hard to right field.
Third baseman, number 16, Tom Brookins.
Over the center of the plate, and Sanchez hits a rope into center field. Just a reminder, tomorrow night, Jack Morris pitches for Detroit. He's 14-9. Doyle Alexander for the Jays, 14-8. We'll have that game for you right here on TSN. There's still lots of time to sign up on TSN. We got a lot of baseball ahead, and what a finish it's going to be.
7 more times this season, the Yankees and the Blue Jays meet. Second inning, New York, Milwaukee, scoreless.
Do you think there's a chance the Blue Jays could get some help from another team against those Yankees?
Well, since Billy Martin took over, the Yankees have been playing .700 baseball.
Since the strike, the Yankees are 26-5, the Jays 19-11. It's interesting, the Blue Jays and Yankees this year, they're tied up 3-3. And both clubs are 1-2 at home.
Yankees currently on a 9-game winning streak. A pitching staff that was to be less than average this year for the Yankees. With a couple of additions. Joe Cowley's come along. Niekro having a lot better second half this year than he had last half. In fact, Niekro got his 299th win his last outing. He'll probably pitch against Clancy on Friday night.
That's
Clancy,
right.
What a plus that is.
So
5 very strong innings by Jim Clancy the other day.
So Niekro going for win number 300, and we'll have it here on TSN.
2 balls, no strikes with 1 down. We're in the 5th inning. Blue Jays lead it 2-1. Hooked foul, left corner. 2 balls and a strike. Jimmy Key got behind. And Tom Brookins, sitting on a fastball, he got it. Alex Graham is 2-1. Tigers down by a run. Brookins doesn't strike out much. Possible hit and run in order. We'll see. He's not going. Left center field. Bell's going to have a long run, and he battles the lights. It comes out. He's got on the soft line drive, so there are 2 outs.
That ball also looked like it was going to be a gapper as you look at Sparky Anderson in the Detroit dugout sitting next to Kirk Gibson.
Anderson managing his 1,000th ball game as a Tiger tonight. And if the Tigers would win, he'll move into 14th place on the all-time list. 1,414 wins. That'd be 8 behind Al Lopez. Lou Whitaker. 19 home runs, 1 shy of the home run mark for Tigers second baseman.
Little guys hit a couple out of Tiger Stadium this year.
Well, he's always had an outstanding swing, and when Sparky Anderson first saw him a few years ago, he said he reminds me a lot of Davey Concepcion. He's going to hit more home runs. He's gotten a little stronger, learned to pull the ball a little bit more. Little chopper, Jimmy Key, a great athlete, gets it, a flip the fielder. So Sanchez is left stranded on first base in the top of the 5th. There's your score, Blue Jays 2, Tigers 1, as we go to the bottom of the 5th. You're watching the Bats Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
The 1985 Chevy Cavalier is the car for the 2 of you. The one you demands his money's worth in comfort, features, and quality. The other you enjoys the performance of an electronic fuel-injected 4 or available multi-port injected V6 and GM's 5-year future guard warranty. Happily, the new Chevy Cavalier brings both of you together. No wonder it's GM's best-selling car.
Chevy, way to go. Way to go, Chevy. Way to go, Chevy.
More than 2 million Canadians have insulated their homes with fiberglass pink home insulation. Here's what one particular couple did with the money they saved.
We saved enough for a down payment on what we think is one heck of a lovely summer place. It also gives us the opportunity to entertain our friends from different parts of the country.
What you do with the money you save is your business. Our business is making sure you do save money. Fiberglass pink. Do it for the money you save.
May 31st, 1985. A tornado rips through Barrie.
Okay, this is the devastation that we came home to last Friday.
You just can't believe the feeling that you have to find your home gone.
Our damage was total.
Our Allstate adjuster was extremely helpful.
They were very quick, and this was only a few days later, and we're all settled.
I guess you could say Allstate came through when we really needed them.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Pete Rose off Reggie Patterson, a surprise starter for the Cubs, ties the immortal Ty Cobb with 4,191. There was a 2-hour rain delay in that game in Wrigley Field yesterday, and Marge Schott, the new owner of the Cincinnati Reds, called Bill Burgish, general manager, and asked him to tell Pete Rose to get out of the lineup. Pete got 2 more at-bats, got just 2 hits. He wasn't going to get out for anything. Game ended in a 5-5 tie, a suspended game, but Rose's 2 hits go into the books. San Diego coming into Cincinnati, so Pete will do it at home. 1 ball, no strikes to Garcia. Mickey Mantle keeps hanging in there. Count goes 2-0, so he continues his pattern, pitching from behind. 2-1, in case you're just joining us, the Toronto Blue Jays lead it. Cecil Fielder with a home run for Toronto. Lance Parrish, a home run for Detroit.
Mahler so far has thrown 75 pitches as we go to the bottom of the 5th.
2 balls to strike to Garcia. He doesn't like the call.
Remember yesterday,
aren't some of the expressions of guys argue the greatest things you'll see? You got Andy Warhol doing a painting of Pete Rose, a limited edition. Do one of those on Garcia's face, and now do it on his back because he just shattered it in his hands. Mahler got in his kitchen and broke it to pieces. Gamo's got 1 in each hand as he has a little talk with Evans.
The center fielder, number 15, Lloyd.
Sweet Lou Whitaker. One of the best double play combinations of the game. Remember the experiment this spring? In fact, we were in Clearwater when Sparky said he was going to move Whitaker to third, and young Chris Patera would be his second baseman. Patera in the minor leagues has struggled all year long. Whitaker and his wife decided he wanted to stay at second base. Pops foul.
Brookins was back at third base, and the shaker keeps staring down at him.
Mosby singled to left field and popped to second. Brookins about even with the bag at third base, but well off the line. One strike to Lloyd Mosby. Well, the Yankees, for sure, that Thursday through Sunday 4-game series at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx will throw Guidry and Niekro. Don't know who the other two starters will be. Billy Martin may bring out Bob Shirley, who's been in the bullpen. Hard breaking ball. Mosby goes after a bad pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, Tony, we'll have at least 6 more telecasts on TSN, and who knows, the Jays continue playing the way they are. They might be adding more games, so if you're watching free television tonight, make sure you sign up if you want to see the Blue Jays on TSN finish off the season.
Alan Trammell, about as good a mechanics you see among shortstops. Gets the 3 hopper off the bat of Lloyd Mosby for the second out.
The designated hitter,
Trammell in the last season had that shoulder problems, had some knee problems the offseason before that. Cliff Johnson now. He grounded into a double play, first and third, out in the first. A run scored, no RBI. Walked in the third. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Blue Jays. Since last we saw the Tigers, they've added a new wrinkle. Boots Day, who was their advanced scout, former major leaguer. End of the bat. Boots Day's up now, aligning the defense. As we've heard some BP. Cliff Johnson on a 1-strike pitch, pops out. With Darrell Evans at first. A 3-up, 3-down inning for Mickey Mahler. First he's had in this ball game. There's your score after 5. 2-1 Toronto. You're watching the Bats Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Aluminum cans. Get them while it's hot.
Can your motor oil survive the punishment today's engines dish out? Circulating it twice as fast, working it twice as hard, breaking it down, and causing it to lose its viscosity. That's why you need an oil with the additive that does more to help prevent viscosity breakdown. Castrol XLR, the oil engineered for today's cars. Look for Castrol XLR at these and other leading retailers.
The Sports Network has the FINA World Cup Synchronized Swimming Championships. The world's #1 ranked duet team are Canadians Carolyn Waldo and Michelle Cameron. They'll compete against 8 other duets. As well as the duet competition, we'll feature team competitions. Join us from Indianapolis on September 15th at 3 p.m. Eastern for the duets, and September 19th at 6 p.m. Eastern for the team competitions, right here on TSN.
September 20th.
The Milwaukee Brewers with a lot of new faces here at Exhibition Stadium. 4-game series beginning Friday night, September 20th, 7:35 start. Saturday afternoon, the 21st, 1:35. Special reduced prices for junior Jays and senior citizens. Sunday afternoon, 1:35. Quaker Oats Tooth Day. Series winds up Monday night, September 23rd at 7:35. Where has all that Brewer power gone, huh? Alan Trammell, Kirk Gibson, Lance Parrish, Jimmy Key. And the Blue Jays lead it 2-1. 1 strike to Trammell. One ball, 1 strike. Alan Trammell flied to left in the first, doubled in the third. Jimmy Key has struck out 2. Not yet walked the Tigers. Sliced foul in the stands.
Trammell's been plagued by a lot of nagging injuries this year, hasn't he?
Well, he kind of has, and some of those came off last year, too, as we indicated a while ago, with a arthroscopic knee surgery and a sore shoulder. He was DHing at times last season. 1-2 pitch. He fists him. Fernandez on the run. The fielder, the ball takes off. Boy, it's tough for a first baseman because you don't know what Tony's ball's going to do. First time it sank into the runner. That time it took off.
The
Toronto, the Labatt's blue player of the game. He'll get the Nikon FG. Here's an SLR camera with automatic manual and pre-programmed modes for brilliant 35mm pictures. The Nikon FG. Simple enough to start with, sophisticated enough to stay with. Nikon. We take the world's greatest pictures. You ought to see the pictures I got this summer, Mike.
I knew that was coming.
No, I'm telling you.
You going to tell us about that 40-year-old camera you still got?
23 years old. I took some of the most beautiful color pictures. My kids are building a log cabin this spring up in northern Wisconsin. I'm going to bring them to you. In fact, we'll get a couple on the air to show what a Nikon can do.
I think you're trying to sell that camera.
I'll never sell my camera. Jimmy Key fists Kurt Gibson. A 1 ball, no strike count. Barfield's got it. 2 down. Jesse Barfield, who made a great throw, doubling up Herndon earlier in the ballgame. That was finishing off the second. Saved a run. Bottom of the second. Yankees, Brewers, no score. Milwaukee County Stadium. Lance Parrish, home run, ground out.
That home run he hit was a rope, just a line drive.
End of the bat. Jimmy Key will get over, probably taking a foul. Fair ball, 3 up, 3 down inning for Jimmy Key. He has set down a modest 5 Tigers in a row now as we go to the bottom of the 6th. 2-1 Blue Jays. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Powered by a new V6 engine, the most powerful V6 in full-size pickups today. On the strength of it, make it a GMC.
The essence of racing. Dave Thomas. You know the wind. If you read it right, you're flying. It's a feeling that grabs you and tells you you've got it won. The essence of shaving. This is a Gillette Track 2. 2 blades on a balanced handle. 1 stroke sets Track 2 apart from any other shave. It's a feeling you only get from Gillette.
Track 2 from Gillette. The essence of shaving.
The things people go through, making their presentations more presentable, making their memos more memorable, making themselves understood. It's one reason we invented the Macintosh Office. To improve the way people communicate by turning ideas that look like this into ideas that look like this.
Toronto sitting with a 1.5 game lead, 1 in the loss column over the New York Yankees. Last score we had from County Stadium, Milwaukee. Brewers, Yankees, no score, 2nd inning. Detroit, and there is some money involved if you finish 3rd place. Don't know what the split will be this year with the new television contract off the last negotiations and a different formula, I believe, coming off the gross revenues the World Series plays. Still, some of the younger players might appreciate that extra money. Kansas City and California, a very important series they are involved in right now. For Kansas City tonight at California, Charlie Liebrandt at 14-7 scheduled to pitch against Kirk McCaskill, a former hockey player. Ball game scheduled to start 10:30 Eastern time. We're out in the Big A in Anaheim. Bottom of the 6th. George Bell is fouled out and lined out to right field. Then Barfield and Cecil Fielder in this 2-1 ball game.
And his slump continues. He is now 0 for 15.
Hit the ball hard the last time out, as we indicated. Mickey Mahler bounces a breaking ball. Falls behind again. Only in the 5th did Mickey Mahler throw a small number of pitches. Bobby Cox out there throwing batting practice today. He had a little shoulder problem earlier in the year. As things get a little tighter, Bobby Cox gets more involved, hitting fungos, and today pitching batting practice. End of the bat, good changeup curve. Bell grounds to Evans, 1 down in the 6th. Blue Jays by now, they're coming
The right fielder, number 29.
around the 3rd time through against Mickey Mahler. They know he's a breaking ball pitcher, but he changes speed so well in all his breaking pitches. Bell's still way out in front. Barfield will strike out in the foul out.
That's the 86th pitch that Mahler is throwing. And by comparison, Jimmy Key is throwing 68.
Mickey Mahler, one more time in his career, trying to fight his way back on a major league roster. 2 consecutive fastballs. You could tell that Barfield, only the first pitch was a perfect pitch, right down low at the outer edge. That another fastball. Barfield obviously up until 2 strikes looking breaking ball. He's in the hole.
In case you joined us late, Barfield threw out Larry Herndon at home plate on just a tremendous throw, and really how important is that run right now as the Jays lead it 2-1. That's the play of the ball game so far.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And that happened back in the 2nd inning.
Remember, Barfield, after Sanchez got on in the 3rd, leading off the 3rd with an infield hit, Barfield robbed Brookins of a double in right center field with a great play. So although his bat so far has been silent, he's made 2 outstanding plays. Great slow curveball has Jesse double clutching, waiting as long as he could. He was still out in front. 2 outs.
That's Mahler's 3rd strikeout of the night. Good breaking ball. Barfield goes after.
He's now set down 7 Blue Jays in a row.
Fielder.
Cecil Fielder, home run in the 2nd. Fly ball deep to center field in the 4th. Watch the intensity in this young man's eyes. He requests time and gets it. The concentration. He has hitter's eyes, folks. Look at that. He loves to swing the lumber. Eyes get bigger and bigger and bigger as the pitch comes on its way. Ball 1 to Fielder.
Such an easygoing guy, too, isn't he? I tell you, his teammates really like him. Great personality. Always a smile on his face.
I'll tell you what he's done is he took an awful lot of pressure off a slumping Willie Upshaw. Bobby Cox started platooning Fielder and Upshaw. And Willie's bat started coming alive. Pull the string, straight change, 1-1 to Fielder. Fielder at one time property of the Kansas City Royals. Milwaukee jumps ahead in the 3rd, and the Yankees 1-0. Good pitch. Fielder sitting on a breaking ball, as was Barfield. Now Lance Parrish has turned the pitching pattern around. We may see some of these Blue Jays hitters moving closer to the plate for a breaking ball, having curveball on their mind. He busts a fastball in. He's ahead, 1-2. There's the curve. Great pitch by Mahler. 8 in a row set down now by Mickey Mahler with a great change-up curveball. 4th strikeout after 6. 2-1 Toronto. You're watching the Bats Blue Jays baseball on TSN. Fergie will be back for the remainder of the ball game.
Buy
Buying gas at most self-serve stations often means wearing the proper outfit. You know you're going to get splashed. Too bad. But at Gulf Self-Serves, we've added the special splash guard to all our pumps so you won't get soaked. Now you don't have to dress up to pump gas.
Birthday sale. Black's birthday sale is a great time to buy a camera and accessories with birthday bargains throughout the store. Black's birthday sale has a wide range of savings on popular 35mm SLR and compact cameras. Birthday sale.
On Thursday, September 12th, the Sports Network presents another television network first. Live coverage of the silver anniversary of the Hall of Fame induction ceremonies. Over the past 24 years, hockey's great legends have found a permanent home, honoring their contributions to the National Hockey League. Join us for live exclusive coverage of the 25th Hall of Fame induction ceremonies, Thursday, September 12th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern.
It'll be Quaker Oats Toque Day at Exhibition Stadium Sunday afternoon, September the 22nd, when the Blue Jays host the Milwaukee Brewers at 1:35. The first 20,000 fans entering the stadium will each receive a free Blue Jays toque, courtesy of Quaker Oats. Willie Upshaw is now in to play first base.
The story you heard in the background while Fergie was reading that promo of the Brewers series is the Yankee score was just posted on the scoreboard, and the Blue Jay fans are scoreboard watching along with the players.
Chad Lemon hits it down to Garth Orge at third base. One down. And that'll bring up the left fielder, Larry Herndon. Herndon doubled back in the second inning, and then in the fourth, hit into a double play. Actually scored that a triple. Although that throw from the outfield that Mosby made was way off target. Scorekeeper's judgment call.
Mosby was just setting that inning up for Barfield to finish off. Set a trap for Herndon and let him get the third and let Barfield gun him out, huh?
Top of the seventh inning, 2-1, Blue Jays leading.
These two pitchers now have set down 14 in a row between them. Jimmy Key has 6.
Back to Key, he knocks it down. 2 down.
Something Jimmy Key, in some of his starts in August was getting the ball up a little bit and didn't seem to have that little extra velocity in his fastball. He's got the ball down very well again tonight. Seems to be throwing fewer breaking balls to me, and we haven't seen all his starts in August nor July. He's got that fastball in a good pattern and just keep it down and controlling the outside half of the plate.
Last time, of course, he pitched against Detroit. He went 10 innings, pitched a no-hitter through 8. He did a good job again here tonight. He's allowed the Tigers only 6 base hits. And Darrell Evans, a man with 31 home runs this season. He's looking to tie up this ball game.
Evans, only 7 players, one of only 7 in Major League history to hit 30 or more home runs with 3 different teams. It's a quiz for you. We'll let you folks figure out who the other 6 are. Informal quiz. We're not going to tell you. You can figure it out yourself. Write in your answers to Don Chevrier. 2 guys I missed here tonight. Chevrier, can't pick on him. And B.J. Bird. Where's B.J. tonight?
He's got an off night tonight.
He has an off night every night.
He doesn't.
Pudge Fisk. Probably be the oldest player in the league, Major Leagues, in home runs.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Evans. Last time Jimmy Key had a complete game was back in June, and that was against the Boston Red Sox. He leads 2-1 here, top of the 7th, and he gets Evans. That is strikeout number 3 for Jimmy Key. And what a job he is doing, as he has retired now 8 in a row. You're watching the Bats Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Introducing the new Chevy Astro. It's more than a minivan. It seats up to 8, has swing-out rear doors, proven rear-wheel drive, available V6 power, halls a room of furniture, a school of laughing kids, a baby grand piano, 38 bushels of apples, an 8-man crew, 2 fast horses, lots of paint and fingers, up to a 5,000-pound yacht, and fits in the garage. The new Chevy Astro, built to do more than a minivan can.
That's the Chevy way to go. Way to go, Chevy. Way to go, Chevy.
Business travelers are waking up to the good deal they get at Howard Johnson.
Good morning.
A recent U.S. survey was positively eye-opening. Our guests rated our message and wake-up service higher than Best Western guests rated theirs. Our room decor better than Holiday Inn guests. Our staff more efficient than Ramada's. Towels thicker, too. People with a nose for business are finding the nearly 500 Howard Johnson hotels and lodges a good deal. And a good deal more.
Some fun at the old ballpark tonight as the Toronto Blue Jays lead the Detroit Tigers 2-1. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Garth Ordge will lead it off. He doubled, as you see, in the 4th inning and was stranded.
And all of a sudden, the bats have quit for both teams, huh?
Mahler doing a great job for Detroit. He has also retired 8 in a row now. Fouled back out of play. Garcia scored the game's first run in the 1st inning. He singled, then Mosby singled, and Cliff Johnson hit into a double play, and that scored Garcia. And then Cecil Fielder in the 2nd took a Mahler fastball deep into left center field over the 375 mark and put the Blue Jays up front 2-1. As Parrish homered for Detroit. Could be a base hit. He's got a hustle. He's there.
That artificial surface is so kind. Picks up a little bit of that overspin and seems to scoot and makes that shortstop travel to his feet and run a little bit farther. Brookins now will come in and be looking for a bunt, although don't count on it. The Blue Jays have bunted fewer times than any team in baseball. But this late in the 7th to try and pad the lead, Bobby Cox may have a bunt. Brookins is looking for it. Evans will be charging.
They've done it only 16 times this season. Fernandez squares. Throw to first, and then Ordge is back.
And Tony, seeing Mahler moving over to first base, may have squared much more quickly than normal to try and decoy. We'll find out in a second. Trying to find out what he's doing. Bunting or hit and running or what's happening.
It is now raining. As he lays down a bunt, Mahler flips it over to Whitaker, but a nice job by Tony Fernandez as he gets Garth Ordge down to second base.
There's one of those that if Evans were allowed to take that ball, I believe he could have thrown, because the ball is bunted very hard. One much of a touch, and Evans is going to be right there. Watch, you come in your picture. If he takes that bunt, he's going to go to second base and get Ordge, because Ordge was dead. Mahler didn't even look.
That'll bring up catcher Ernie Witt. He's 0 for 1 tonight. Struck out in the 4th, walked back in the 2nd. And just a light shower. Well, it's been threatening all day long. The umbrellas are now out. That's hit out of play down the left side. Maybe an umbrella will catch that one.
Bill Scher, the left-hander, up once again, and O'Neill, the right-hander.
A little action in the Blue Jays bullpen as well. Jimmy Acker up. One down. Milwaukee leading the Yankees 1-0. They're in the bottom of the third. As a pass ball, and Garth Ord goes down to third base.
I don't believe that ball hit the ground. I think it hit the glove of Parrish first and scooted through. That changes the inning a little bit because with one out, that's a pass ball. The ball is catchable. It gets by Parrish. Ernie waves him on. Now the infield will have to come in.
That was Mahler's 100th pitch, Tony.
Bring a trip from Sparky Anderson. He's going to try and get Mahler's thought process straight. Tell the infielders what he wants.
I'll tell you one thing, Mahler can't be disappointed with the job he's done tonight.
Now, he struggled early on. In fact, the first inning looked like it could be a lot of trouble. 2 men on, no outs. The rain picking up just a little bit. The wind continues to blow dead out to left field. Umbrellas have popped out all over the place, but I don't see anybody leaving. Not with the Blue Jays in this pennant race. And a great ball game. Jimmy Key against Mickey Mahler.
A reminder, on TSN tomorrow night, 7:30, Jack Morris against Doyle Alexander. And then we'll have Friday night's telecast out of Yankee Stadium as Phil Niekro goes for career win number 300. What a telecast that should be. He'll be facing Jim Clancy, and the joint will be jumping at Yankee Stadium, won't it? It'll be sold out, I'm sure.
Sparky Anderson just going over a lot of scouting reports with Mahler with Wood up. Also asking him whether he prefers to pitch in the stretch or the windup. He's chosen the stretch.
Both clubs with 6 base hits. The Blue Jays lead it 2-1.
Garth Ord's looking at the signs and then a verbal communication between Jimmy Williams and Garth. I don't remember when I've seen Bobby Cox squeeze all the games we've done, if ever. He doesn't like to take the bat out of his hitter's hands. Thinks it's a sign he's showing a weakness in his hitter by asking him to squeeze. With the left-handed hitter up, a little more difficult too, because you can pitch out more readily. Catcher's got an easier tag. I'd be very surprised if he's bunting.
Pops him up. Brookins, the third baseman, calls for it.
So Bobby Cox showing faith in Ernie Witt, the left-hander against the left-handed pitcher. He's got a bunch of pinch hitters on the bench, and of course Jeff Herron and Steve Nikosha, who could catch. But Ernie's hit this Tiger Club so well over his career, you got to let him take a shot.
So Garcia, who is 1 for 3 tonight, they're going to put him on. They get pitch to Mosby, the hottest hitter in the club right now.
Percentages, Mahler against Mosby, left against left. Of course, Mosby, a little looping single to left, a pop out and a ground out. Bill Scher, in case Sparky Anderson feels that Mahler's thrown too many pitches, Scher is a sidearmer, is loose, and Sparky Anderson needs him out of the bullpen.
So with Garcia on at first base, Garth Ord's down at third, 2 down. Mosby steps in. He's had a base hit tonight, single in the first inning.
Sparky Anderson has always given a lot of intentional walks.
Remember, Mosby today was named the American League's Player of the Week. With 5 home runs in the last 5 games.
Wow, Mahler thought he had that pitch. Cliff Johnson on deck. Mahler has gone to more fastballs over the last couple of innings, but it wouldn't surprise me if he went a lot of breaking balls right now to Lloyd. Just showed him the fastball.
Mosby hitting .308 with runners in scoring position.
Another fastball.
Now to the shortstop, Trammell to Whitaker. They get the force and Garcia at second base. So the Blue Jays continue to lead the Detroit Tigers 2-1 as Mahler makes his way into the Tiger dugout. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Good evening. Welcome back to TSN Control. American League Baseball action tonight. The Milwaukee Brewers are now leading the New York Yankees by a score of 1-0. They're in the top of the 4th inning of play. Baltimore and Boston have been rained out. Minnesota is leading Chicago 2-0 in the 4th inning of play. 3 games starting at 10:30 Eastern time. Kansas City at California, very important series then. Kansas City leads the Angels by a game and a half in the American League West. Cleveland at Seattle, and Texas is at Oakland. Over in the National League, San Diego and Cincinnati tied at 1 in the top of the 9th. Pete Rose has not played tonight, is not expected to see action. Los Angeles leading Atlanta 3-1 now in the 6th inning of play. Chicago over St. Louis 3-1 in the 3rd, and Houston is leading San Francisco 1-0 in the 4th. Couple of trades in the National Hockey League today with training camp set to start a week from today. Mats Helin, a left winger, has been sent from the New York Islanders to the Minnesota North Stars for future considerations, and Darrell Evans, a forward with the Los Angeles Kings, has gone to Washington for forward Glenn Curry, a 1-for-1 deal. More news on all the sports coming up on Sports Desk tonight at 11 Eastern. The TSN Sports Break is brought to you by Instant Patch Roof Repair Products.
If smoke rises and water...
Hey, you want to know how to make a car sing? Well, after you wash it, just get out the old Armor All. First I do the tires. Makes them look like new again. Then I do the bumpers. Makes them look like bumpers again, yeah. Then I do the dash, the door panels. Then I hit the hoses. And when I'm finished with Armor All, this car is the envy of the entire living world.
And then he does his car.
Company car.
We go to the top of the 8th inning with the Blue Jays leading Detroit 2-1. Alex Sanchez tries to lay one down but fouls it back. What a ball game here, and after 3 in Milwaukee leading the Yankees 1-0. Sanchez tonight is 2 for 2 off Jimmy Key.
Key's on a roll. 8 in a row set down, 5 of those ground balls. He's had a much, much better fastball tonight than I've seen him in about a month or month and a half. Tom Hinkie, the right-hander. Gary Lavelle, the left-hander, with Johnny Sullivan, the bullpen coach, looking on.
Gets it to center field. Mosby going back. He looks like he's there. He is. Sanchez hit the ball pretty good tonight, isn't he?
Well, he's a strong, young-looking hitter. A real hacker, as is theirs. 1-1 New York, Milwaukee. Winfield with his 24th home run. Man, they seem to all be hot together, don't they? The left-handed power the Yankees didn't have for a couple of years. Now they got Paliarulo. Hassey's hitting some on occasion.
Tom Brookins beats it in the ground down to Garth Orge, and they get him. 2 down.
Dan Pasco. Remember this spring when Bobby Mercer and Ricky Henderson, the sprained ankle, was in a rehab program, and Bobby Mercer was down there, played in a couple of instructional league games. And even though they said he wasn't serious, he was serious. They were looking for left-handed bats. For that short porch, they looked him Hassey and Pasco and Paliarulo. Mattingly's learned more and more to pull the ball.
It is still sprinkling here at Exhibition Stadium in Toronto. hard as it was in the 7th inning.
Key has pitched Whitaker as well as anybody in this ball game. A lot of weak, a couple of weak fly balls and a weak ground out right back to him.
There's a base hit.
Whitaker has seen that average, even though he went into the game hitting about 290. He's seen that average gradually drop over the last month.
The shortstop, number 3, Alan Trammell.
Well, Whitaker has 6 steals this season.
Hanging curveball.
There's a chance he could be going here to try to get into scoring position with 2 down.
Well, if he does, I'd be very, very surprised. Down by 1, not a base steal, a left-hander on the mound.
He throws over.
Lou Whitaker is talking to Ted Hendry, the first base umpire, saying that Jimmy Key is balking. Hendry's kind of laughing at him. Maybe saying his front foot is going to the outfield side of the rubber. It isn't. Little gamesmanship by sweet Lou Whitaker.
Foul back out of play.
I guess the fall weather's here, huh? A little bit of a sprinkle, but you can see the long sleeve jackets out now.
Now it's supposed to warm up tomorrow and Wednesday. Oh, they got some kind of snow out in Calgary the other day.
He's still got a pretty good sinking fastball, doesn't he?
Key has been awfully impressive all night long.
Could you imagine the World Series if it should go the distance, get in late in October, what the weather will be like here, New York, either the Mets or the Yankees. Even Kansas City can be a little bit cool end of October.
Who cares what the weather will be like?
Well, I'll tell you what,
it'd be nice just to be there.
The players do. You start trying to bat a ball around in sub-zero weather, that's Fahrenheit, isn't too pleasant. I think it's a mistake to play any ball games that late in the season. That's what the AL Championship Series will look like. American League East, night game October 8th, 9th, and then an off day to go to either California or Kansas City.
Saws the bat off in his hand, and he hits a looper right to Fernandez to retire the side. So after 7.5 innings, those Jays continue to lead Detroit 2-1. And now they're only 3 outs away from their 86th win of the season. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
If smoke rises and water falls in your chimney, grab some Instant Patch Roof Repair. On sale now, and keep hearth and home dry. If you're eavesdrops or eavesdropping, this sale can help you patch holes up to 1/4 inch, rain or shine. And if a leaky shingle is causing you bad luck, the sale prices on Instant Patch Roof Repair will bring out the sunshine. The Instant Patch Roof Repair sale. Don't miss out. Instant Patch Roof Repair is on sale now at participating dealers.
First Choice Super Channel's got movies for you. 53 hours of movies. Uncut, uninterrupted, all free, all weekend long, September 13th to 15th. Tune in for The Terminator, The Woman in Red, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, The Philadelphia Experiment, The Bounty, and more. A free weekend of the movies from First Choice Super Channel. Then enjoy the best in commercial-free movies 24 hours a day, every day. Call your cable company. Subscribe now.
There's heart in this land, it's there in all we do. That's why hands across this country reach for the blue. And when we get together, it's a taste that's clean and true. So when you call, then you call for the blue. You know it's gotta be blue, that's why you call for the blue. That's why you call for your blue. It's time to
back at Exhibition Stadium, and a reminder, the Yankees will wind up the regular season, and I'm sure we don't have to tell anybody that out there, but they'll be here at Exhibition Stadium. The series will open Friday night, October the 4th, and continue Saturday afternoon, will wind up Sunday. And Sunday, of course, will be the big Panasonic Fan Appreciation Day. All reserved seats have been sold for this series, but plenty of general admission tickets are available and are now on sale. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. And Cliff Johnson will lead things off. Johnson hit into a double play in the first inning, walked in the third, and popped up to the first baseman, Darrell Evans, in the 5th inning.
Now, Paliarulo has hit his 18th home run. Winfield already has his 24th, each with nobody out, so the Yankees won't quit. They're on a 9-game winning streak. They have a 2-1 lead over the Brewers. I'll tell you, Mickey Mahler didn't look the way he started, like he was going to go past the 3rd inning, if even into the 3rd inning, and he has settled down and has been brilliant. Nibbling away, pulling the string, changing speed. Listen to Cliff. Don't argue too vehemently, 0-0. You're going to be gone, pal.
Mahler really didn't look like he was going to go through the first inning.
Cliff Johnson on the verge. Where he just had that outburst from Jim Evans, the home plate umpire. The verge, if he says one more word, he may not be around much longer.
He reaches for that outside breaking pitch, and Trammell throws him out.
Attendance 31,153, and there's the total. Man with a heart made for baseball. Franchise would possibly have gone to 3 million this year.
Well, the Jays are averaging 31,052 fans a game coming into tonight. They're 101 over the average.
Mahler's thrown a lot of pitches, although he's cut down the pitches considerably since the 5th inning. Sparky has the bullpen going, but he may not need it.
That was Mahler's 108th pitch.
Randy O'Neill, the right-hander. Bill Scher, the left-hander. They were up last inning also.
Wow, that's hit deep in the left field. Herman stands and looks at it. George Bell has just hit his 28th home run.
And did he hit it? For George Bell, that's his 3rd home run of the year off Detroit pitching, and his 7th RBI. Look how far it goes up into the left field stands.
Wind didn't help that ball a little bit. May have added a couple of extra rows. What a way to break an 0 for 16 slump, huh?
It's raining a little harder here now at Exhibition Stadium as the Blue Jays lead it 3-1. Jesse Barfield. He has struck out twice tonight and popped up to the catcher, Lance Parrish, back in the 2nd inning.
Did you see the reaction of Mahler when that ball left Bell's bat? He whipped his cap off and threw his arms up in the air. He got that fastball out over the plate about belt high. Here come the wave.
Herndon in left field did not move when Bell hit the ball. Off the end of the bat, down the right field line. It's going to fall in there. Go for extra bases. Barfield has a double.
Could be all for Mickey Mahler. He has pitched so well in his first start as a Tiger. Boy, he struggled early, breezed along. He has a little slider. He took something off the fastball that kind of squibs off the bat in the right field corner.
First baseman.
For Barfield, this is his 28th double of the season. That ties him for the club lead with Upshaw and Mosby.
Here comes Sparky. Upshaw came in the 7th defensively for Cecil Fielder. Sparky has Bill Scher, a left-hander. Mickey Mahler has pitched so well. He's going to go with Scherer. And while Scherer comes out of the pen for Sparky Anderson, Fergie Alver had a talk with a man who came back from the DL the second time this season and gave the Blue Jays a great 5 innings. Jim Clancy, let's listen.
Jim Clancy, you threw a pretty impressive 5 innings after being on the disabled list. 66 pitches. You had to be pleased.
Yeah, I felt pretty good out there, Ferg. Everything was working, fastball and slider mainly. Wasn't able to get the changeup in there that much like I really wanted to, but I'll be working on it on the side and be able to use it in New York.
Were you worried at all about your control problem?
At first I was. I thought maybe I might be a little wild, really not being out there in a long time, but everything just came around and felt real good out there.
The left-hander Bill Scherer comes in now to pitch for Detroit. And you know, Tony, we talked about this earlier in the ball game. It was a 2-1 ball game, of course, until George Bell hit that home run. But, you know, we still harken back to the play of the game, Jesse Barfield, when he threw out Larry Herndon back in the second inning. That would have tied things up. It was just a tremendous throw by Barfield, and really that set the stage for the lead.
BJ got his logo on that baby too. He's selling everything else in the ballpark. Still got the price tag on him. Somebody must be making a couple bucks in the stands. Some entrepreneur.
Great idea, isn't it?
You know, you keep talking about the throw Barfield made is one of the best we've seen in a long while around here. But I keep going back to the next inning also. In the third, after Sanchez got an infield single, Brookins hit what looked like a double to right center field, and Barfield made an excellent running backhanded catch to keep the second and third situation at least, and nobody out. Scherer, with a good sidearm curve, he comes from the side, and you'll see a lot of left-handed hitters. Stepping in the bucket. Reminds you a lot of Steve Hamilton in his days with the old Washington Senators and then the Yankees.
The first baseman.
So Barfield's down at second base. The batter is Willie Upshaw, who hasn't hit a home run off a left-hander since he hit one off Bruce Hurst back in Boston in June. His last 7 home runs have come off right-handed pitching.
Scherer can have control problems. He has struck out 39, but he's walked 35 and 54 in the third innings.
Breaking ball hit over the bag. It's a fair ball. What a play by Evans. They got a shot. First base. The call was made by Ted Henry.
I'll tell you, that's a great play on both ends. Scherer got a poor jump to get over. Evans rolling into foul territory. The ball almost hits the bag. A hanging curveball. Just over the bag. Makes a great play. You can see Henry signaling fair. He makes a low throw and just bang, bang. Barely gets Willie Upshaw. That saves a run.
Makes a good call, too.
You betcha. He made an outstanding call. Now, you know, like every at-bat and every pitch in the pennant race, every umpire's call becomes important.
Gar George. What a night he's having.
Well, they take veteran umpiring crews and try and get them with the pen contenders as the races heat up in September.
A high hopper that's fouled down the left side. We've got to be talking about who's going to be the Labatt's Blue player of the game for both teams.
Well, I think Mahler, my point at this time, the way he pitched in and out of trouble and pitched so well. And when you start thinking of the Blue Jay, well, you already mentioned Barfield's great throw and the great line drive catch. He certainly is a possibility. Fielder broke the 1-1 tie.
If that stands up, that'll be his 4th game winner of the season. Not bad for a guy with about 51 at-bats. 3-1, Blue Jays leading. That's hit deep in the left field. Herman turns back to the wall. It's out of here. Guy George has hit a 5th home run of the season. smile on Cecil Fielder's face.
Sparky Anderson had Randy O'Neill, a right-hander, ready. But Sparky Anderson thinking this way. If I bring O'Neill, Cox might go to Molnix, and he would rather have had the Scherer-Orange matchup, and he got burned. And it's interesting, you know, you get a guy like Mahler who had that good downer for a curveball and change speeds, and you get the flat-breaking ball from Scherer.
Fernandez rifles one into left field for a base hit. The Blue Jays now lead it 5-1.
The catcher, number 12, Ernie.
So George Bell is homered here in the 8th inning. Barfield has doubled, and Garth Orge has hit a 2-run homer.
Blue Jays bench strengthens Shaw, which changes the opposition manager's strategy. And you got those extra players in September. Pat Gillick went out and got him.
It's been a great ball game through 7 innings. You've seen some fine pitching, great defense, and now the Jays are breaking it open here in the 8th.
Now we finally see some fans leaving and going up the aisles. It's an outstanding crowd, over 30,000 on a Monday night.
Fastball that's inside. 2-0 to Witt.
And if you want to come see some ball games out here the rest of this season, the Blue Jays still have a lot of home games left. You better get your tickets early, folks.
If you're a baseball fan, I don't know how you could miss them.
Wow. The place to be, isn't it?
So Whitaker, he'll step on the bag, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. So the Blue Jays are up for 3 runs here in the 8th inning. On 4 hits make that, and a couple of home runs, and now lead it 5-1. They're only 3 outs away from winning. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Pontiac Fiero GT.
Want to see something really exciting?
Fiero GT. Now with the authority of a fuel-injected V6. Fiero. You got it, Pontiac.
Twice a year, Pascal's offers a store full of its fine furniture and appliances at up to 50% off Pascal's already low everyday prices. Twice a year, Pascal's presents top names in sofas, chairs, stoves, bedroom sets, children's furniture, wall units, freezers, and much, much more at unbelievable savings. Twice a year, Pascal's opens its doors on a sale to end all sales. Now is one of those times. Pascal's Green Tag Sale. Very personal, east and west.
This is my car. It takes a big chunk out of my paycheck every month. So I want
this car to last. That's why I use Quaker State. It's especially
blended motor oil, made to help my car last for a long, long time. And a long, long time.
how long I intend to keep my wheels. Because to tell you the truth,
a long, long time is how long it's going to take me to pay it off. Quaker State helps cars last.
The Blue Jays' current series with Detroit will continue here at Exhibition Stadium tomorrow night. And, of course, we'll have that game for you on TSN starting at 7:30. The series winds up Wednesday night. There are plenty of reserved seat and general admission tickets available for both nights. Then, of course, Wednesday night, the Blue Jays will leave for a 6-game, 7-day road trip. 4 games in New York, 2 in Boston, and then return home for a 7-game homestand. The 4 games in New York, TSN will be televising Friday night's game, and then in Boston, the Tuesday and Wednesday games, I should say, and Tuesday's game will also be televised on TSN. Kirk Gibson, here in the 9th inning, 0 for 3 tonight. Gibson struck out, lined out, and flied out to Barfield in right field.
Jimmy Key still looks pretty strong, doesn't he?
Lays a bunt down, but it's right back to Key, and he makes the play.
Not against him, Kirk. He's too good an athlete. So many left-handers fall off to the third base side. They have trouble coming back to their left. Watch Key's follow through. As soon as he released that ball, he knew he became the 5th infielder You know, we're going to have some difficulties as to whom we're going to pick the Blue Jays, the Bats Blue player of the game.
I think we've narrowed it down to 2, haven't we?
Well, I like the guy who's right on the screen right now. He might get the 13th complete game. You've got to consider Darth Orange.
That's right. Those are the 2. There's been some pretty impressive plays tonight. Some hitting by Fielder and Bell.
Orange, a double, single, 2-run home run lined out to center field. Fielder broke the 1-1 tie. If it stays like this, he'll get the game-winning RBI.
And that'll be number 4 for Fielder.
Guy right here is pitching an outstanding ball game, though, isn't he? Now we got all these executives around, the Michael Lansbury's and the John Hudson, the big vice president. We ought to put the pressure on them and let them pick. They're always copping out and everything. Got Tom McKee sitting down there producing this game.
Base hit to Parrish out in right field. Parrish, in case you joined us late, homered in the 2nd inning for Detroit's only run. So that's his 2nd hit of the ball game. That'll bring up the center fielder, Chet Lemon.
Center fielder, number 34.
Blue Jays over this recent home run splurge, what they've had 15 in the last 7 ball games. Up until this recent splurge, only Cleveland and Milwaukee in the Eastern Division had hit fewer home runs. Boston now beneath Toronto. In this little ballpark, they haven't been shown as much power as people thought they have until recently.
Lemon hitting just under 300 against Toronto pitching this season. He has hit a couple of home runs.
Tigers have hit into the fewest number of double plays in the American League by far. He's a good double play guy right here. Upshaw playing behind the runner Parrish at first base, protecting the gap. There he is. He'll move back even farther.
Look out. That's hit deep into left field, and Bell watches it go.
Probably Key's last hitter.
It is now 5-3, Toronto leading.
They have struggled all season long, but you can see how explosive this Tiger ball club can be.
For Lemon, his 14th home run of the season, and his 54th and 55th RBIs. And out comes Bobby Cox.
Before this ball game started, the Tigers were 2nd in the American League with home runs hit. Baltimore had a 177, Detroit 166. They just haven't been getting as many men on base to drive home and leaving men on bases. But now the big guy's going to come in. Tom Hinkie, after that rifle shot, gets the Tigers 2 runs closer. Key pitched marvelously, though. Nice to see him back and throwing as well as he did tonight.
Hinkie is 9 of 10 in save situations. He's finished the game 15 of 18 occasions.
Attention, please. Now pitching for the Blue Jays, number 50, Tom.
Here's a guy in just 18 appearances. If we look at the line score, already has 9 saves and 5 other decisions. 3 wins, 2 losses. Striking out over 1 per inning pitched. He's walked 7, allowed 2 home runs.
Well, Tony's walked a man in each of his last 2 games. That's the first time he's done that since August the 11th. So he has struggled a little bit lately, although he didn't do a bad job yesterday.
Fastball in the 90s. He's got the split-fingered fastball. Call it a forkball if you want. Throws a slider. Basically a power pitcher. Although that forkball that he uses a changeup has made that fastball look so much tougher. He doesn't throw for spots. He comes in throwing as hard as he can. If he gets ahead in the count, he might try and spot a ball to a hitter's weakness.
So Jimmy Key has gone 8 in the 3rd inning, given up 3 runs, 9 hits, struck out 3, and did not walk a batter.
Sparky Anderson is going to call Larry Herndon back and go with a left-handed hitter, Johnny Grubb. This is an area where they have really struggled as opposed to last year with the Rupert Jones off the bench. Bergman, who had the great start. Even Rusty Kuntz is no longer with the club last season. This year, Grubb hitting just 183.
30, John Grubb.
Jimmy hit 3 home runs in 2 games off Toronto pitching last season.
Bergman hitting at 183 with just 3 home runs, 7 runs batted in. He was hurt at the beginning of the year, missed a lot.
It is 5-3. We are in the top of the 9th inning. 1 down. Grubb pinch hitting for Larry Herndon. Tom Henke on the mound. The count is evened up with a ball and a strike.
Hey, Fergie, this outing for Jimmy Key very important because I'm sure he'll go into Yankee Stadium for starting one of those 4 games with an extreme amount of confidence, throwing the ball as well as he did today. And you need a left-hander in Yankee Stadium. That short porch to nullify or negate somewhat those left-handed hitters.
Remember his first appearance in Baltimore? I'm talking, of course, to Tom Henke. He came out of the bullpen and just threw bullets that night. And the radar gun there clocked him at 95 miles an hour. He's throwing more breaking pitches now.
Pitching from behind right now to Johnny Grubb.
Fouls it back, evens up the count at 2-2.
Laval and Caudle. Bill Caudle, a right-hander, of course. In case you're a first-time viewer here on TSN. A lot of new baseball fans in the area.
Count remains the same. The Blue Jays with 10 hits. The Tigers with 9. Lemon and Parrish have hit home runs for Detroit.
Garth Ord's 2-run home run could be the difference. Yankees 2, Milwaukee 1.
Yankee just missing on the corner. It's a full count now to John Grubb. If he gets on, the tying run will come to the plate.
In the form of a pretty good home run hitter, too, huh? Evans.
2-1, New York leading, bottom of the 5th inning as Grubb fouls off another pitch. The Blue Jays, 34 games above 500 as Grubb fouls off another one.
He's looking fastball, and he still can't get the barrel out on Henke, so he's thrown very hard tonight. Just in case Tigers tie this up, you see Willie Hernandez sneak down to the Tiger bullpen, not throwing yet. He just took a little leisurely jog down there.
Fouls off another pitch.
Might have been ball 4, but off a hard throw like Henke, it's hard to lay off that high fastball.
Grubb is now fouled off about 5 pitches. He gets him.
Terminator South. Terminator North, of course, Jeff Reardon with the Montreal Expos, and he throws that ball as hard as any fastball that he has. Some idiots out in the field. We shouldn't even show them. They're disrupting the game. Fans showing their dislike as they get booed out of the stadium.
2 down, top of the 9th inning. Blue Jays leading at 5-3. As
There's
you look
Hernandez.
at Willie Hernandez, or Hernandez, I should say.
The first baseman.
A little smile on his face. There's
Number
Lopez
41,
on the right.
Darrell Evans.
So Evans is 0 for 3 tonight.
Fastball for a strike. Tigers throwing a little bit of a scare into the Blue Jays. With that bullpen, which is so deep. Tom Henke becoming the official stopper, trying to shut him off.
I tell you, Blue Jay pitching have really done a job on Evans this season. With 3 base hits and 24 at-bats. And he has not hit a home run off Toronto pitching. He's got 31.
Wow. Hickey went fastball, then split finger, now fastball, and the crowd's going to get in the game right now.
A ball and 2 strikes, 2 down.
There's Stanzer.
That's right. Ground ball up the middle of Fernandez.
Oh, my, what a play. Oh, he caught it behind him on a tough hop off the dirt. Los Manos de Oro, the golden hands of Tony Fernandez.
And he turns and looks at Garcia and starts to explain to him what happened.
A split-fingered fastball, and it was a funky hack that Evans had to just try and protect the plate. And a nice play by Tony, because the tying run would have come to the plate if he misses that ball.
So it's all over. The Blue Jays have won their 86th game of the season. They are now 35 games over 500. And as it stands at this very moment, they have a 2-game lead on the Yankees. But the Yankees are leading Milwaukee 2-1, bottom of the 5th inning in Milwaukee. But Hanke gets his 10th save tonight. And there's your final score, 5-3, Blue Jays win it. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays Baseball on TSN.
Becker's Instant Giveaway can make you an instant winner. Buy 4 liters of Becker's 2% partly skim or homogenized milk. Check the cap or back of the bag. You could win up to $1,000 instantly. Becker's is giving away $25,000 in cash and over 500,000 instant win prizes. Popsicles, Pepsi, Hostess chips, oh, Henry bars. You could even win one of 3 1986 Pontiac Fieras. Becker's can turn 4 liters into 4 wheels or lots of other prizes now during Becker's Instant Giveaway.
Second by second, hour by hour.
The job done for the Blue Jays tonight in the pitching of left-hander Jimmy Key, as George Bell, Cecil Fielder, and Garth Orge all hit home runs for Toronto. Parrish and Lemon for the Detroit Tigers, as the Blue Jays now have hit 15 home runs in the last 7 games.
Well, Toronto with that win picks up win number 86. That's what the line score. Save 10th for Hanke. Mahler was outstanding. He struggled early, came back. Jimmy Key almost got the 13th complete game of the year for the Blue Jays. He pitched brilliantly. There are your home runs in this ball game. The Tigers throw a scare in front of 31,153. 86-51. Right now, Toronto with a 2-game lead. The Yankees leading over Milwaukee 2-1 in the 5th. It could go to 2.5, or it could stay at 1.5.
And the big play of the game, I thought, is we go back to the 2nd inning. Larry Herndon at third base. Watch Jesse Barfield in right field. Herndon tags up, and Barfield guns him down at the plate.
You can see the on-deck hitter, who was Darrell Evans, to the left of your screen before he came to the close-up, signaling for Herndon to slide. He runs as hard as he could, but never did he suspect that from the spot that Barfield launched that throw, that he could throw it that strongly and get him out by